We'll take a look at the tail of the tape, and it's going to tell us a few things. As you look at it, you'll see that Gonzalez is actually an inch and a half taller. The weight's exactly the same. You see that Gonzalez is a couple of years older, and Gonzalez will have a 3-inch advantage in reach. Now, Valdez is coming off a win in December where he stopped Corbin Page in the second round.
Okay, guys, I want you to obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back and wait for the bell. Good luck.
All right. We're set to go here. We're ready for the scheduled 6-round featherweight division. They're both in over that. They're actually junior lightweights, which would be 130 pounds. These guys' featherweight limit is 126. They both come in at 128. Just to make a point of that. How about a blonde like this from Mexico? We get him, and we get now Canelo Alvarez with the red hair. So we can't judge the dark hair for guys from Mexico anymore, Carlos.
Yeah. That's amazing. Both of these guys are from my home state of Sonora in Mexico. So this kid of Valdez, just a tremendous talent. So we're going to get to see it here the first time.
In fairness to Carlos Gonzalez, Jose Morales was supposed to be the opponent for Valdez. Gonzalez has one more professional fight than has Valdez. Valdez is 2-0 as a professional with 2 knockouts. Let's see how he lines up with Carlos Gonzalez, the blonde with the blue trunks and blue shoes. Valdez is really, you can just tell that he's a professionally highly trained boxer. He trains with his dad, Oscar Valdez Sr. He has Miguel Diaz in his corner with years and years of experience in that corner as a cut man. And of course, he's got Clemente Medina and Frank Espinoza Jr., all very experienced people working with him. Well, Valdez goes to the right hand when he lands the first shot. Gonzalez looks like he knows how to fight too. He goes downstairs, misses with a wild left hook upstairs.
Yeah, he made a very, very professional move there. He turned and tried to step around Valdez and get that left hook in. It didn't work for him, but that's a very good move.
Yeah, well, that's when he had him up against the ropes and spun Valdez into the corner. A very professional move. Comes back upstairs again. He better look out, because when he has a tendency to throw the left hook, he drops his right hand and he'd be wide open for a counter left hook. Digging body shot by Valdez up against the ropes. Again, Valdez to the left of your screen. Wow, with the left hand that time. Gonzalez with his back to you now takes a shot behind the rib. Boy, Valdez's hands, you can see, are noticeably faster, because when he picks up, there's a point behind the elbow. He's able to land it on the rib. There you saw a tap with the jab with a lot of power behind it. Then the right hand behind that, Carlos. This kid's got all the tools.
He does, and the only thing that I would encourage him to do a little more is jab a little more, because he's stepping in with that right hand to the body. Without a jab. I'd like to see him step in with a double jab, and then he's there for the hook of the right hand.
Well, he's got the solid body shots, and he's loaded with confidence with all the amateur background that he's had, and now in his 3rd professional fight, he probably is a little bit anxious right now that he's settled into the pro game and has been out a couple of times, and now he wants to show his power. And you know the way fighters are, they just kind of grit their teeth and say, man, I want to take this guy out. And they have to really settle into it a little bit. Whoa! Caught him with a left hook and wobbled him back. Here's the right hand. Solid shots. Closing seconds of the first round. And Valdez is loading up. Another big right hand. He all but went down again. And the bell ends a very good first round for Oscar Valdez. He had Gonzalez in a heap of trouble at the end there. That's an example of a round that, if they use the full 10 points, you could score that as a 10-8 round without a knockdown, and score the knockdown at 10-7 and so on. But they don't really do that in scoring, so it's going to be a 10-9 round. And it was more than just an easy 10-9 round, because he had the 10-9 going all the way through. And here's the end of the round, Carlos. You can describe it.
Absolutely. He dominated the round and hurt Gonzalez bad with this hook right here. Nice hook right on the temple. I mean, you can see there, and walk. His leg just turned to jelly, and then here comes the right hand, left hook. Oh, beautiful hook to the body. There's all this stuff tough, though, because I got very easy to have just taken a knee there, but he stayed up, and you're right. I think maybe that'll be a 10-9 round.
That's the way they'll score it. Here we go with round number 2. The Colonel Bob Sheridan along here with former welterweight champ Carlos Palomino, and Christina Poncha will be providing a lot of color as the night goes on here. We're in round 2 in a scheduled 6-round fight between Oscar Valdez, who's in the black trunks with the kind of greenish sort of trim, and Carlos Gonzalez in the blue trunks with the blue shoes and the blonde hair. Valdez, 2-time Olympian out of Nogales in Mexico, Sonora. As a matter of fact, even though Gonzalez lives in Bell, California, he's from Sonora as well. Tough on the inside. Valdez protects to make sure he doesn't get countered with anything from the free swinging Gonzalez. Gonzalez backs off. He puts his head down a lot and takes his eyes off his opponent, and that can be dangerous, Carlos.
Well, yeah, that shows you the inexperience. When the guy puts his head down like that and loses sight of his opponent, it's just inexperience. You know, with the height that he has, it looks to me like he has a long reach. He should be standing up, using that jab, really sticking it stiffly, you know, to try to keep Valdez from coming in.
He makes a huge mistake. Does the nice uppercut. I've been looking at from Valdez, and now he's starting to pour it on. Gonzalez continues to throw punches back, but he's getting the worst of this battle. Over in the far ropes, look at this. There's a clean, real clean right hand. There's a nice uppercut again. And another uppercut. That's the 3rd uppercut in this round that snapped the head of Gonzalez. Gonzalez's face is all puffy and all red right now from the shots off the hands of Valdez. Look at these shots, Carlos. Gets one in, but Valdez is getting the better of it. Digging body shot. So he's got to slide down the ropes, do what he did in the first round, grab him and spin him into the ropes himself.
Yeah.
But he's allowing Valdez just to tee off on him. Look at the eyes of Valdez, Carlos. I mean, so clear, so focused, so concentrated. Oh, chopping right hand that time by Gonzalez.
Nice little right hand by Gonzalez. Got to answer something. There you go.
He's tough, there's no question about it, but he's getting really pummeled with heavy shots. Yeah, the uppercut has found a home.
Yeah, inside that uppercut has just found a home, and Gonzalez just can't seem to get away from him. You gotta put your head on the other. Oh, that body shot hurt.
3 body shots there. One of them was really, really heavy. Gonzalez almost a little shell-shocked in there, but he keeps throwing wide shots of his own. The trouble is that Valdez stays so compact, and he's such a tight boxer that when I say tight, that his hands are tight together, his chin is tucked, and he's very disciplined. Boy, that right uppercut has been sensational in this 2nd round. I was looking for it in the 1st round. He's thrown it, I think, about 5, maybe 6 times now in this round. The bell ends the 2nd round. Another good Valdez round. My golly, there's a good right uppercut that we've seen. You know, the uppercuts, I was kind of going to say, you know, if he would throw a right uppercut, it'd be fantastic. He must have seen the same thing, because the guy, realizing what we were saying, that he's tucking his head down and he's coming in blind, so the uppercut is tailor-made for that, and obviously found it, because there were at least 5 good ones, maybe 6, maybe 7. We'll show you some uppercuts.
There it is, and see, and the reason they're going right up the middle is because Gonzalez has these gloves on both sides of his head. Instead of putting one underneath his chin, he's just taking them right there, right up the middle.
That shaggy haircut doesn't help his vision either in there as it gets wet. Here we go to round number 3 at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. The Colonel Bob Sheridan with the former welterweight champ Carlos Palomino, and Christina Poncha is joining us throughout the course of the evening for her color. In the ring, we've got young Oscar Valdez, the 22-year-old former 2-time Olympian from Nogales in Mexico, and Carlos Gonzalez, who's from Mexico but lives in Bell, California, in the blue trunks. Gonzalez is behind. He's lost the first 2 rounds. Nobody's been shaken. Nobody's been down. I shouldn't say nobody's been shaken, because Gonzalez was shaken at the end of that first round with some really solid shots, and he recovered pretty good. Now look at this. It looks like Valdez is even turning it up more here. Another notch here in round number 3.
Yeah, I think they sent him out from the corner there. I think they told him, you got to get this guy out of there right now. He was landing everything, and he's just got to be patient, and the right shot will end this fight.
Late great Angelo Dundee, the trainer, used to say to his fighters, I don't want you to get hit anymore. Just go out there and finish this guy off now. Hit and don't get hit was Angelo's teaching technique. You were around him a lot too when you were coming along.
Yeah, absolutely. He was great. He's a great motivator in the corner and gave great instruction to his fighters.
Oscar Valdez has got his dad in there, so he's getting all the motivation he wants, and about 60 years in boxing experience from Miguel Diaz, who's from Argentina. He's going to be pretty happy about the new pope being from Argentina. Oscar Valdez comes forward. Oh, he clipped him with a good left hook and a right hand. But look at this guy, Gonzalez, come back. The trouble, again, as you mentioned, is his punches are so wide, and because of that, he get clipped with another left hook.
Yeah, he's kind of slapping with his punches. He's not really turning his body with him. It's all arm, and he's got long arms, so he tries to do work inside. It's difficult for him to really work inside. He should be standing up and jabbing from the outside and throwing that right hand from the outside.
You know, in the professional game, when fighters the way Valdez is fighting this fight, he wants to fight in the inside with this guy. You very rarely see that in a guy in his third professional fight when he's transitioning from an amateur, because in the amateur game where it's touch, 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 you don't see him close in and come in and fight and work on the inside like this guy is. But he's a tough Mexican fighter. The Mexican style is to blast on the inside, and maybe that's in his blood.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in Mexico, the amateurs don't learn the amateur Olympic style of boxing.
Yeah.
They learn the pro style, and they do well because the guys who make it to the top are very, very talented.
Now, this kid is one of those who is very, very talented, and the whole staff at the Top Rank Boxing is very, very thrilled to have Oscar Valdez as one of their new young signees. And he's certainly showing the cream is coming to the surface tonight. Left hook, right uppercut again. Boy, this Gonzalez is some kind of tough. He's taking some shots. A big body shot right on top. Look at his midsection. He's in great shape. Look at a little staggery coming to his corner, though.
Yeah,
took a lot of shots.
He took some shots in that corner, a lot of body shots. And we know that Valdez really looks up to Julio César Jr. And I love what he did in that corner there when he had Gonzalez on the ropes. He started moving side to side, using angles, moving his feet quickly. That's a nice left hook right there, right hand behind him.
Christina, you look like you want to say something down there. What do you got to say, honey?
Looks to mirror Julio César Chavez Sr. I'm sure Jr. as well with those shots to the body. That's something Jr. does very well. So as you mentioned the typical Mexican style, it made me think of how he looks up to Chavez Sr. as one of his idols.
Well, of course, there was none better at throwing body shots behind the elbow and borderline shots a lot of the time than Julio César Chavez Sr.
And I can see now, that style, it was Julio's style, man, coming in, not getting hit while he's walking in, though. Movement, upper head movement, and then attacking that body viciously.
That's one thing I don't see from young Oscar Valdez is a lot of upper head movement. He could, and he'll learn that. He needs a little bit more of that. But right now he feels so strong in this fight that he can just do pretty much, at least in his mind, anything he wants. Gonzalez is so tough. You still have to be careful with him. But again, with a nice compact style, with the hands in, the shoulders tucked and rolled. Look at him, the way he's able to load up the right hand on the inside. Didn't quite catch him. The uppercut is there, really there right now. Left hook catches him on the chin.
That hurt him.
But look at the ferociousness with which he's throwing these punches now. Loading up shots. That's it. The referee, Tony Krebs, says that's enough. You've taken too many headshots. It'll be scored as a fourth round technical knockout victory. And, just about to say this guy's not answering the punches right now. And he gave Tony Krebs the opportunity because Gonzalez wasn't going to win this fight. It's a good stoppage by Tony Krebs because this guy was taking a lot of headshots. He's only in his fourth professional fight. He doesn't need to take the headshots because it's clear that Oscar Valdez, certainly the much more classy fighter right here. He won every single round of the fight. So a fourth round TKO victory for Oscar Valdez. 3 rounds, 3 fights, 3 knockouts is the end of the fight. Has 1.
That hurt him.
There's 2, 3.
Then he took advantage.
4, 5, big uppercut, 6, 7 at this stage, that's it. 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
10 unanswered punches, that's enough. So good stoppage by the referee, Tony Krebs, as Oscar Valdez came, he saw, he conquered. 3-0, 3 knockouts. Let's make it official. Lupe Contreras is standing by, and let's get the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, a series of unanswered blows obligates referee Tony Krebs to step in and call a halt to the action with an official time of 58 seconds of round number 4. Your winner, by way of knockout, still undefeated, Oscar Valdez.
So officially, it comes at 58 seconds of the 4th round.
All right, we're here with Oscar Valdez. Great win. Did you see something that you could take advantage of right away?
Going in the ring, we didn't know who our rival was going to be. We didn't know what strategy was going to get, so I was a little nervous at first, what kind of style it was. But I just did what my coaches told me to do, just pop the jab, and everything went on its own.
So we heard that you admire Julio Cesar Sr. What from his style do you feel like you're taking control of?
I don't know. I mean, Chavez is my idol. I don't want to say I have something like him, but I've always tried to do what he does with like a body shot. He has a perfect left-hand body shot, so every once in a while I try to throw it like him, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, it looked good to us, so continue the success, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Back to the Colonel.
All right, so a few words from Oscar Valdez. And here is the end of the fight again. This is the one that got it started as he falls back, and then there's a whole slew of unanswered punches here. Nice to get a couple of comments from the youngster Oscar Valdez. He's just dominating here with these hard shots, and at this stage, Tony Krebs has seen just about all he wants to see of this guy getting pummeled.
All right, gentlemen, this is for the WBO featherweight title. You received your instruction in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punch below this area going to be called low. Any punch below this area here going to be called low. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you.
Vic Draculich, the 3rd man in the ring. Oscar Valdez, the man who swims with alligators. Yeah. How about that?
Well, that must be the fight.
Yeah, that's it. We're underway, round number 1. Oscar Valdez looking to defend a belt that he won back in July. He knocked out Matias Rueda in the 2nd round. Again, he's got tremendous power and an outstanding left hook.
Well, Osawa looked like he's trying to establish his jab right now. He's a taller opponent. He has the reach advantage, and he's using it to his advantage right now. Sometimes you get these fighters that come from overseas, their style is a little tricky at the beginning, in the start.
Right, you don't conform to the standards of the guys you spar with, right?
Just kind of awkward. They're awkward, just real awkward.
Fair enough, but in the first minute or so, I saw him get hit with 2 stiff jabs and a left hook just now.
Yeah.
Let's see how his defense is.
You can see already Valdez, and there it is. There's a strafing left hook to the body. That's his money shot. Valdez already throws his punches shorter and crispier.
Valdez right now looks like he's trying to relax right now. He's just filling him out right now, filling out round for Valdez.
Another good left hook, that landed. Good jab by Valdez. Boy, I tell you, you can feel the power from this kid from ringside.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he just everything is hard. He's on balance, but everything's hard.
Throwing a few left hooks to the body doesn't hurt either.
Well, he does that, Stephen A, effortlessly. Nice right hand. He just does that rolling out of bed.
He might send this guy to bed.
Right now, the guy looks like he's taking a good shot right now. He's able to take it. Still kind of early.
As in 2 minutes.
Might have to wear him down on here.
Valdez looking explosive. He is the first Mexican boxer to compete in 2 Olympic Games. He's in Beijing at 17 and London at 21. Lost in the quarters of one of them. So a lot of success for Oscar Valdez because coming out of Mexico, most are encouraged to turn pro.
Great jab by Valdez. Good overhand right.
It is. That's a nice jab, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah,
what do you think of that?
It's a stiff jab. You know, most guys now these days, they paw with the jab. No, he sticks the jab in there. It's a real jab.
And he leaned over to his left and delivered that hook nice and quick.
You know what? His trainer said something to me that really stuck out to me in the fighter meeting. He said that,
corner, what do you tell him? Because he's outgunned right here.
Keep your hands up.
Yeah, and move.
And move.
keep your hands up and use your jab, use the distance.
Praying never hurts.
It's funny because he did mention that. He said, watching Teddy Atlas, who had told him never abandon your defense for offense. Let's take a look at the total punches blowout city for Valdez. 27-7. I said, oh, where did you come across Teddy? You know, obviously I know Teddy quite well too from my years at ESPN and years on Staten Island as well.
Right.
And he said, oh, watching TV. I forgot he's a TV star.
Yeah.
Valdez here, good body shot with the right hand.
See, that's what Valdez got to continue to do. You know, early, land those body punches right there.
Landing body punches, also landing on top of his head a few shots as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we asked Robles what is the best attribute of Oscar Valdez. He said work ethic, determination, just a good, hard-working kid as he goes to work on the body again.
That's what I like about Valdez. He's always looking to go to the next level. He's never satisfied with himself. He's always looking to improve.
In fairness to Osawa, though, he said that he expected Valdez to be aggressive, but he would adjust and he would retaliate. He's been trying to do that.
Oh, he's a man that's true to his word.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. And he's been hit with some good shots. Yeah. He's taking them well. Oh, nice. He tried to shoulder roll and slip with the right hand. Osawa looking pretty good right now. Oh, got caught with a big overhand right now.
And again,
and another.
Valdez comes in working off the jab. Now an uppercut and two hooks.
That's what I love about Valdez. He mixes his punches up. It's just not the same combination all the time. He mixes it up. Head and body, hook, uppercut, left hook, right hand. He's always mixing his combinations up.
Well, he's a good combo fighter, isn't he? From the amateur pedigree and yet what we often refer to as the Mexican style.
Yes, right? Yes.
I mean, it's kind of the best blend of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, he has good balance, good footwork. You know, he also has, you know, good speed, great power.
He made a tricky little move in there as well as he stepped in with that jab and then rolled over to the other side. Yeah, he's got a lot of little wrinkles in his game.
A lot of experience. There it is.
Nice left hook. Yep.
Osawa bothered by that. He's another one. Now Valdez goes to work.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Big right hand by Valdez. Not much time left in the round. Osawa ate some good shots there, and he's still on his feet.
Right now, Valdez is one of my favorite fighters. I love to watch Valdez, and I love to watch Terrence Crawford fight.
Round number 3.
Fighters right now.
Well, who doesn't love watching Terrence Crawford?
I know Manny Pacquiao does it. He didn't want a piece of Crawford. I'll tell you that much.
And in this weight class, Valdez, he's in basically everybody's top 10. Could be moving up, but again, Frampton, Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr.
It's a lot. It's a lot of talent in this weight class.
He said he wants those fights. Said he wanted Santa Cruz before he went and fought Carl Frampton.
Yes. Those are all tough fights. But you gotta admire. You gotta admire him. He's a throwback fighter. He's willing to fight the best out there.
And he did. You know, even in the amateurs, he lost razor close to Jojo Diaz at the World Championships in 2011. He lost wide to Vasyl Lomachenko in 2009. Yeah. But I mean, that's high class. And Lomachenko much more experienced at that point in his life. But he's been in with world-class competition for years now.
Yes.
Oh, that's good hook. Off the temple too. Osawa weathered that nicely. And a right hand. Osawa's a good chin. Another hook, straight off, and this is starting to break him down. Just too many thudding shots.
And he doesn't seem to know how to back up unless he's falling back.
Left hook and a right hand. Valdez doing serious damage in round 3.
Valdez has always put on the show with big shots. The last 5 appearances I've been seeing him, he's been getting rid of everybody he's been facing. He's been stopping them, knocking them out.
Well, you know what, Tim? It's like he's got all those power shots, but the jab is just so sharp.
The jab is what stings you, and he throws that overhand right over the top. It kind of pauses you for a minute, just like that one.
Good hard jab and then swinging with the wild right.
You know who has a good jab that's going to be fighting tonight that we haven't seen yet? Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas has a really good, stiff, hard jab, and he's going to have to use that against Manny Pacquiao tonight.
Hiroshige Osawa trying to survive this round 3. He's eaten some really hard shots in this round. He has said that, hey, this is my time. I want to take advantage. Might not come my way again. Again, he's getting a shot now at a world title belt. Valdez lunging there and missed. Final 10 seconds. We're going to get a visit into Manny Pacquiao's dressing room in just a moment as we get closer now to the main event. This round is done.
Talked all week, all camp, about the motivation in this fight, and that's to make history. How important is that for you to become the first senator to win a world championship?
It's very important because especially this is a historical fight, another history of boxing.
Manny, good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Christina, thank you so much. Back here, round 4. Oscar Valdez goes right back to work on Hiroshige Osawa. Tell you, Manny Pacquiao, that's a full-time job as a Philippine senator. He was a congressman for 2 terms prior to this. He was criticized for his voting record because he was an active world champion. But you can tell, and just he is active every single day going to work.
He's active every single day, and it's not like, you know, you get elected for 6 years, but it's only 12 of them in the country. 12 senators. And you got to do everything.
All 3 rounds there on twitter.com/trboxing. Again, you can get involved and score these rounds with us. And then you can have a Twitter beef with Stephen A. later if you like. He'll be available all night. Down goes! Big hook by Oscar Valdez.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
What Valdez does is he throws that jab, and then he whips the left hook. He steps in with a left hook.
Osawa
and
is
he catches
game,
everybody.
but he's in big trouble. Draculich took a good look. Osawa's eyes are clear, but he eats another big right chopping hand. And another.
Looking.
Draculich is taking a good long look. Waiting for something clean, and he might jump in. Valdez is throwing hurting shots.
See right there, he tried it again. He'll lead with the jab occasionally, then he'll lead with the left hook.
And again, yeah, that's a short left hook.
Yes. Kind of looks like almost like a jab, but it is a left hook.
Don't forget the word vicious. Short and vicious.
A lot of bad intentions as Osawa lands a jab, trying to keep his man at bay. And give Osawa credit, getting up and totally game.
He's super tough.
Uppercut from Valdez.
Yeah, the Japanese fighters have a lot of pride. A lot of pride and a lot of toughness. Ooh, nice right hand by Osawa.
Coming in, followed up, had the jab in front of it. Try to survive in this round. You can see the experience of Osawa. It is, when you get dropped like that, Tim, you need experience to help you clear your head, stay on your feet, and move.
Well, he weathered the storm really well. And now he's back. And now he's back up in the fight again.
Back in the storm.
Yes.
Valdez lands a hook. Miss with the right hand, then he backs away. And the end of the round. Huge round for Oscar Valdez. We take a look.
Oh, there it is right there. That left hook that I was talking about. He gets used to that jab, that straight stick hard jab that he throws, and then he comes around with a left hook, and you don't expect it, but you're expecting the jab. Right on the button.
Give him credit for just getting up from that one.
Yeah, he's throwing combinations right here. He's trying to throw a flurry right now to get the ref to step in right now. Not really landing anything solid right now.
I think that's a good job by Vic Draculich as well.
Yes.
He was looking close, he was ready, but he's not overreacting. You don't have to stop that.
Right.
That's a veteran guy surviving.
Yes.
It is something people always ask me, Stephen A., about MMA and boxing. When you get a guy hurt like that in MMA, it's over.
That's right.
And in boxing, you still have to come up with something good to get your man out.
Yeah. That's true.
There is a difference.
That's true.
Round 5, Oscar Valdez has looked spectacular.
Well, I think that's at different levels is different. Because early on, it's easier to get the guys out of there. Whereas you fight better competition, it's harder to get the guys out of there. Osawa still game, still marching forward.
See the punch stats. Osawa hardly landing anything. Landed a nice 1-2 toward the end of the round, but Valdez with another power shot in the right hand. And another hook. Looks like a matter of time for Valdez here. He is digging in on those shots.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt that way ever since I saw him throw the left hook. So it's just a matter of time.
You know, for a young fighter and a champion, he goes to the body well. He mixes up his attack, head and body, really well.
But these are valuable rounds, right, Tim? I mean, you're probably a veteran guy. You're winning every round. You're going to win this fight.
Yes.
But you need to stay consistent in your attack and your mental intensity.
Yes, because each fight and each time out, it gets harder and harder. Let me tell you, especially, you know, now that he's a champion, he's a young champion, he has a target on his back. Everybody is gunning for him now. So he has to continue on to perfect his craft, get better. And even in these fights like that, when you got guys that's lingering on, you got to just stay disciplined. You have to stay disciplined and listen to his coach and, you know, execute the game plan. Can't knock everybody out.
Tim, do you get the feeling like every shot Valdez throws is a body shot, and that could be taking something away from him from time to time as a fight wins?
Taken away from Osawa?
No. From Valdez. I'm saying at some point in time, if every shot you throw is a power shot.
Yeah, I mean, some guys, they fight like that. I mean, Valdez, he depends on his power. You know, every shot is a death blow. But as you, like I tell you, as you mature, like I said, you can't knock everybody out. Sometimes you got to you have to show placement shots. You got to have placement shots and then lower the boom every now and then because he loads up every punch.
Well, he just set up Osawa with two nice jabs to establish that distance.
Yeah.
But you're right, Stephen A. That jab kind of went away a little bit. Yeah, early on it was, magnificent. Sometimes you have to be reminded in your corner, right?
Yeah, I mean, every shot don't have to be a death blow. It really doesn't. You can set it up. There's setup shots too.
He leaned in and threw that hook, and he comes back in the final seconds here. Good work by Oscar Valdez.
He's up there with those guys. I mean, they'll be good fights. I think, him and Gary Russell and all those guys, I think great competition for one another. I would love to see those fights happen.
Power in either hand, aggression, and a record of 90% knockouts to validate all of it.
Yes.
That makes him interesting.
Yes.
Valdez through 5 rounds has landed 51 jabs. I think that's the difference. If you think of a classic boxer like Gary Russell Jr. A guy who could just really box. Well, you're going to need that.
Yes.
Just to sustain yourself through rounds.
Yes. Well, Valdez just switched softball. I don't know what for. He was having a lot of success right-handed, but I think he's just trying to find a way to get this young man up out of there, Osawa out of there.
Or he's just using them for practice. Working your skills at the same time because you've reached a point where you're not concerned about him at all.
Yes.
Well, what are you practicing this for? I wonder, what are you doing? Well, let's see. And if you start not having the same level of success, you got to wonder. You think this is sanctioned from the corner, or is this him?
I think this is just him. This is just him growing as a fighter, you know, trying something different, giving Osawa the different angles.
Well, I'm watching his trainer Manny over there nodding his head in affirmation. He doesn't appear to have any problem with what he's trying.
Okay.
No, but he's landing some straight lefts, coming around with the right hook, just giving him different angles, trying to surprise him. See that straight left again?
That was classy.
Yeah.
Coming up fast, so he's practicing that left hand as a power shot.
Yes.
Interesting.
There it is again. He can't miss with it. Right hook.
I want to see his right jab, though. I don't think we've seen that. There's a right hook. Look, he doesn't look bad as a southpaw either.
Yeah.
But, you know, orthodoxy's formidable.
You know what I want to see from Valdez? You know, every shot he throws, it seems like it has to be a power shot. But I want to see him mix it up a little bit, you know. Let his combinations go, you know, a little faster. Not like, No, let him go, quicker. Mix it up, you know. Different tempo.
Right.
Different tempo.
He's back orthodox now.
Yeah. I would love to see that.
Good point, throwing a hook again.
But you see, it's like dum dum. It's not da dum.
You want a different rhythm.
Yeah, different rhythm.
Interesting. The main event is coming up next. Manny Pacquiao, Jesse Vargas. We're halfway through this, unless it ends early. We're going to have a report and hear from Jesse Vargas in just a moment as he prepares to fight a legendary fighter. Oscar Valdez taking his foot off the gas a little bit, fighting southpaw, but still winning this round easily. Let's go to Christina Poncher. Is Floyd Money Mayweather?
Money.
To watch a Pacquiao fight.
Money just walked in.
Hello, Floyd.
Money.
Yep. All right. Back to Oscar Valdez and Hiroshige Osawa. Interesting. Mayweather watching a Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, just interesting.
No,
Yeah.
he's here, the guys, relax. He's here to see Jesse Vargas. He's good friends with Jesse Vargas.
Okay. I understand he's good friends with Jesse Vargas. But we also understand that Floyd loves money. And that's why they call him Money Mayweather. And if Pacquiao were to win in spectacular fashion, there would be those clamoring for a rematch, which spells money. I'm just saying.
There's Floyd Mayweather right there. Still with that O. I don't know about that. He seems fairly retired with each passing month.
He says that. He says that every time I speak to him. He says that, and then he says, "Well, you know, I'm a businessman."
Yeah.
So he always ends it by saying, "I'm a businessman."
But he's swimming in oceans of money after the Pacquiao fight.
People who have money usually tell you it's not enough. That's all I'm saying. I don't know these things. I'm poor. But I'm telling you what they tell me.
Come on now.
I'm telling you what they tell me.
Come on now.
I'm only saying what they tell me.
Everything is relative. Compared to that second row, you are poor.
That's right. Yes, I am.
Exactly, right?
Yes, I am.
There's levels.
Well, it'll be interesting. Look, it's just, you know, that nice hook by Valdez there as he continues to go to work. One thing that does mean a lot to Floyd Mayweather is his family name and his legacy.
Yeah.
And having that O, I think, means the world to him.
Yeah.
Straight ahead is Valdez. And now Osawa in a world of trouble. Oh, he's trapped on the ropes. And a sitting duck.
That's
and Vic Draculix jumps in. Oscar Valdez earns it easy, but fairly exciting victory.
There it is.
Excellent work by the 25-year-old kid.
That was from an accumulation of hard punches over and over and over, and finally he broke through. Yep. There it is. Sweeping left hook. That's his signature punch. Landed right on the money, right on the chin, right there.
I mean, the hook comes off, it's effortless.
Effortless.
Comes right off, and then he's got that chopping right hand. He's very emotional, though, when he got picked up here, and he blessed himself, and he looked to the crowd, so yeah, he feels some pressure. We're watching this saying, hey, it's easy work. But he felt some internal pressure, evidently.
Well, he felt like he needed to get this guy up out of there. He was having a hard time doing it, and he finally found the key and got this guy up out of there.
And he makes his first world title defense. Vic Draculix, I think, at just the right time. Here it is at the end, feeling the emotion.
Oh, yeah. Excited.
This is what I was talking about when he gets up there. Manny Robles gets him up.
this is a kid that feels that every fight could be his last fight. And having that type of mindset, he takes no one lightly.
Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vic Draculich steps in and calls a halt to the contest. The official time, 1 minute 50 seconds of round number 7. The winner by TKO victory, still the undefeated WBO featherweight champion of the world, El Invicto, Oscar Valdez.
Oscar Valdez makes his statement.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm giving your instruction in the dressing room. Let's have a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, return to your corner, and wait for the bell. Good luck.
There's a little bit of attitude tonight on the face of Oscar Valdez, Tim.
Oh, yeah, there is. He's going to make him pay for not making weight.
Well, he intends to.
He intends to, but Quigg look like he's about 140 right now.
That's why he didn't want to step on the scale earlier today at the request of Oscar Valdez's team. Valdez says, I don't care. I don't care how much he weighs. The result will be the same.
Which is interesting because, again, as we've seen certainly in the last 2 fights, Valdez is more than willing to assume the risk to be great.
That's something that boxing needs more of, and that's exactly what Oscar Valdez is looking to do. He wants some big-name fights in the future, and he knows that Quigg is the biggest name on his ledger so far. He's got 12 rounds to prove that he's up to the task.
And Quigg figured this is the quickest way back to Carl Frampton.
You know, Frampton hasn't been answering the calls per Eddie Hearn, but now it's Frampton calling and saying, hey, if Quigg can get the win tonight, let's talk, because I want to get in the ring with him again.
Well, check this out. Quigg is not going to go home if he gets the win tonight. He ain't going to go home with the belt, so he might not get that call.
That is so true. The belt is only for Valdez to take home if he is to defend the title for a 4th time successfully. Scott Quigg did not make the 126-pound limit, was 128.8, almost 3 pounds over the limit. And here Valdez starting off using his boxing skill.
Curious, Tim, what would you have done? Would you have made Quigg step on the scale?
Absolutely. I would have made him step on the scale. If he didn't step on the scale, it didn't matter. I trained to go 12 hard rounds. I sacrificed. You know, I spent money for this training camp. Guess what? I want to get in there and I want to fight.
And you want to get paid, and that's what Oscar Valdez says. I'm not going to give it all up. I'm not going to fail my promoter. I'm not going to miss this chance to be on national television. And all that was more than the 3 pounds in his point of view in terms of importance.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that this is, in fairness, entirely out of character for Quigg, who spends basically his whole life in the gym. As Freddie Roach, his trainer, says, one of the reasons he loves training him is that he has no life except for the gym. He hangs out with his mom. He goes to Starbucks with his
right
mom.
there from Valdez. I mean, yeah, but she's not here to help him out, my man. And then a body shot there by Oscar Valdez, and it looks like Quigg felt that.
Absolutely, Quigg felt that. Quigg doesn't have a lot of defense. He stands there with the earmuffs on. Valdez is going to be landing right hooks and left hooks all night long and going down to that body because Quigg stands right in front of you and drops down. I won't be surprised if Valdez hurt him with an uppercut.
And his mobility may be hindered, and I'm talking about the Englishman here. But so far, as long as Valdez is in range, he's going to try to connect early on in this fight and establish the fact that he is now more of an offensive fighter under Freddie Roach.
The best way for Valdez to establish himself is to keep pumping that jab.
Muy bien. ¿Ya? ¿Viene Lopez? Where's the water? Bien hecho, amigo, perfecto. No me deje de llavear. Ya sabemos que el propósito de él es tirar la derecha por fuera, te la está enseñando, ¿de acuerdo?
Round 2 of our main event between Oscar Valdez and Scott Quigg. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. told Oscar, the Mexican fight fans love you. And why is that, Tim?
Because guess what? Oscar Valdez goes down to that body, that left hook to the body, the signature. You see right there, Scott Quigg leaning over, like I said. You see Valdez finding home for that left hook right behind the elbow of Quigg.
Uppercut too, and when he's got to protect that body, you're gonna have openings, and Oscar Valdez creating those openings early on here in round 1. But there's a key punch for him, Mark, that he's got to continue to use.
Well, it's the jab, except that what we've just seen is a beautiful left hook to the body. In the last fight, he says he had to learn from that last fight with Genesis Cervania to jab more, to pull out more effectively, as we just saw, not straight out, not with his hands down. I think it starts with that jab.
And when you look across the ring and you see a guy like Scott Quigg, who's got no quit in him, he fought 8 rounds with a broken jaw because it was broken in round 4. He said at the 6th round, luckily he landed an uppercut and it numbed it, but nonetheless, the body shots are very different, Tim.
Ooh, that body work right now is serving Valdez very well, especially that left hook to the body. I saw Quigg lean forward and kind of put that elbow down into by his side. That's how you know when you hurt a guy to the body.
You happy now, Tim? See enough body work here?
Absolutely. Valdez is having his way right now. He's controlling the distance and range when he gets out. He's not dropping his hands when he's pulling back. And guess what? He's going to the body. Those are the keys of victory tonight. Go down to that body, come around that defense, because that's Quigg's defense, and work that body, baby.
There was a lot made in the last couple fights of everything Valdez throwing being one tempo, straight up, hard as he can. And there's a question whether that tires him out. Freddie Roach says it tires him out in the middle rounds. Quigg says it as well. And Valdez says it's not throwing those punches hard that tires you out. The only thing that tires you out is missing them.
Well, he's not doing much missing early on here against Quigg, and you know, it may become academic if Oscar Valdez continues at this pace, but just to remind you that Quigg cannot win the title tonight because he did not make the featherweight limit. So Oscar Valdez making the 4th defense. Were he to lose, it would become a vacant title.
Valdez right now is showing his boxing ability right now, using his IQ right now. He took a little mustard off those punches. He's just trying to touch Quigg right now. I think he's trying to set him up for a body shot.
Quigg trying to turn things around here as a round number 2 comes to an end. And let's listen in to Manny Robles in Oscar's corner.
Hey. Gasoline.
You're doing things well.
Mira, le estás dando la vuelta,
You're turning him around,
con mucha facilidad.
and you're doing it easily.
Muy bien.
Good
Pero
job.
a la hora de darle la vuelta hay que atacarlo,
But when you spin him, you gotta
hay que
attack.
atacarlo, hay que ir por él.
You gotta go get him.
¿Sí? Ahora te recargas a tu lado derecho.
Now lean
la
right,
mano izquierda
keep your
arriba y
left hand
jalas a
up,
tu derecha.
and
¿De
go.
acuerdo? No
Go
quiero
with the right.
sorpresas,
I don't want any
guardia.
surprises. You gotta keep your defense up. One hand at a time, one punch at a time.
No deje de boxear.
Don't stop boxing. Those are the words of Manny Robles in Oscar Valdez's corner. Take a deep breath.
Tercer round, muy bien.
3rd round, let's go. Very well. All right, Oscar Valdez keeping that look in his eyes like he wants to come out and punish. And Mark, I mean, his story of loving animals and wanting to be great, this is how you become great.
Well, you become great by taking risks. You also become great by trusting one trainer, one voice. And his relationship with Manny Robles is striking. Robles first started cheering for him as the coach of the Sri Lankan team. In 2009, he saw him in Milan, and Valdez, here's this guy, Viva Mexico, Viva Mexico. He looks up, he goes, I think this guy's a crazy fan. And he became his coach, so much so that Robles was willing to go to Mexico and train and lose other fighters.
Yeah, he did.
Including Mick Conlan.
Mick Conlan, Jason Quigley, but nonetheless, this is the jewel in his stable. Oscar Valdez, as well as Jesse Magdaleno, that body work, and Quigg went low twice in this round already, Tim. And there finally we get the first warning from Dr. Lou Moret, the third man in the ring, as Quigg is trying to find the formula. What would your instructions be for Quigg?
Well, Quigg needs to, he's the taller man, and also he has the longer reach. Control the distance from the outside with the jab. Definitely go down and bang the young guy to the body, because you definitely want to weaken him, and land that right hand and try to put a little bit pressure on him, but a little bit smarter than what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And get him to pull out like Valdez like to do, pull out with his hands down and throw that right hand.
Tim, you know, what I'm seeing though, you mentioned earlier that Valdez learned something, knows himself better, having survived a knockdown. But we're also seeing an improved, more mature, more school fighter. This is a guy saying, I have to fix certain things. And from what we're seeing so far, look how he just got out. He has learned those lessons. He's taken it to heart.
He's boxing. He's boxing him right now, like his trainers told him to do in boxing. He's trying to let Quigg walk into something.
And, you know, there we see the warning, the second warning for Quigg, this time for holding the neck of Valdez down as he punches. But Manny Robles told us, hey, you tell a fighter 1,000 times in the gym, this is what you're doing wrong. But until they get dropped on their butt like he did against Genesis Cervania, that's when they realize, okay, something's got to change. And those are the adjustments that Oscar Valdez is making here against Quigg.
You see right there, Valdez exited out real close to the body. He did it right that time. Had his hands down a bit, but he exited out through the side gate. Quigg is having a little success with that overhand right, I see. Valdez is throwing that jab from too close that time.
10 seconds.
And his mouth is open as round number 3 comes to an end in tonight's main event. All right, between the third and fourth round, Freddie Roach was telling Scott Quigg, you got to keep backing him up, but you got to throw more combinations, because that one-punch stuff is not going to work against Valdez. And in the fighter meetings, he said, I'm not going to let Valdez rest in between his punches. Has he been doing that, Tim, or has Valdez been effective in his
Valdez has been effective because he's boxing. He's using that jab like he's doing. He's stepping around. He's throwing the left hook to try to get around. You see the good defense right there. But I'm telling you, right now, I see that right hand right there. That right hand. You know, Valdez gets a little complacent with his defense, dropping his left hand. And Quigg, being a smart, intelligent fighter, trying to land that overhand right on Valdez. So he needs to be careful.
Nice body work there from Valdez, but he took a nice body shot from Scott Quigg earlier on in this round. Probably the best 2 punches we've seen from Scott Quigg, and we know Quigg has no quit in him, Mark.
No, as what we would call an educated brawler.
That's one way of putting it. I think a very precise way of putting it.
In Quigg, you're seeing a guy who dropped out of school at 15 with his mother's blessing because he saw himself as a world champion.
He did make that dream come true, Tim. Now, I want to ask you something about fighting outdoors, because we see Valdez's mouth is open. We see the steam coming from both of these fighters. But in terms of, it's a lot colder than when you fought here, right?
Well, it's a lot colder. I don't remember how cold it was when I fought. It was hot in the ring, man. Against Vodnikov. But, you know, his mouth is open right now. It's the 4th round. You know, he hasn't settled down yet. And plus, he has a big guy coming at him. Like I said, Quigg could be 140 pounds right now. And Valdez is moving, picking up his feet, using the angles and that jab like that, and having a lot of success against Quigg.
Well, Tim, you were right in a way, and you're wrong, because he was 142.2 tonight. So, I mean, you talk about a guy rehydrating and wanting to come in heavier and bigger. He got everything he got out of not weighing in at 126. He took full advantage.
So the question is, you know, there was talk whether he had a stress fracture or not. It's still incumbent on him to make that weight or to provide a reason that he can't. Was it a screw up or was it tactical? Did he come in there to be the bigger bully?
That's the big question. 135.6 was the weight for Oscar Valdez, who said, I don't care how much he weighs, I'm going to punish him. And as long as he keeps boxing like he did earlier on, maybe he won't be able to move him as much as he did earlier on in the fight, or other
Slightly
fighters.
different round to me. This is the round that Quigg really started bullying a little.
Let's listen to Freddie Roach in Scott Quigg's corner here as round 4 comes to an end.
Now, you ever get the body shots are working really well for you, okay? Now, behind that jab, that straight right hand right down, the straight right hand very good, okay? But I want the hook back. I need the straight right hand and the power hook. All right, set him up. Take that little angle like we did in the mids, okay? Take that angle and turn that hook over for me, okay? Yep. All right, that's your power shot. Let's go with it, okay?
Seconds out.
All right.
Mouthpiece in.
All right, those were the words of Freddie Roach, and we see that as the fight progresses, Scott Quigg usually gets stronger. Not necessarily the case for Oscar Valdez, Mark.
Well, this is beginning of the 5th round. This is precisely when Quigg and Freddie told us Valdez would tire and Quigg would pick up the pace.
All right, let's see if that happens, but the body work for Quigg efficient early on in the round, as it was in the 3rd and 4th rounds, as Oscar Valdez going toe-to-toe, but he's not able to move the bigger man like he would usually.
A smaller guy. He's in there against a junior welterweight. Of course, you know, Quigg is trying to walk through Valdez stuff right now. He's having success right now, getting close.
And maybe this is why you make a guy step on the scale. You know, you can be cursed with your own courage sometimes.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Valdez, with that amateur pedigree, the fact that he can box just as well as he can brawl, I think he can find a way to win.
That's exactly what he's trying to do here against a veteran in Scott Quigg, who will come forward, who will take punishment in order to dish out his own shots. And it's the body work that Freddie Roach was asking for, which has been efficient for both guys. I mean, it was working early in the fight for Oscar Valdez, and we were giving him credit, and now we got to give credit to Scott Quigg for using the same tactic.
Yes, Scott Quigg is getting close. He's smothering Valdez's shots right now, and he's trying to land body shots. He's trying to slow down Valdez.
He's using his size to pull his way in.
And the legs of Oscar Valdez wobbled a little bit there as the strength of Scott Quigg's wide left hook connected on the chin of Valdez. And here, the size differential can become huge, and it's the moment of the fight where Valdez tends to weaken, and that's what Freddie Roach was betting on here tonight.
Stop. Come on, clean, okay? Box.
Quigg was expecting Valdez to kind of slow his rhythm and take advantage. And now we see the cut over the left eye of Scott Quigg. He paws at it. He feels his own blood. Let's see how he reacts to it, Tim.
Now this is the time you take advantage.
Oh, that's what Valdez does. But now Valdez gets caught after landing a left hook to the body. A big right by Scott Quigg, and Valdez has to hold on here in round number 5. Quigg smells blood. He feels the weakening of Oscar Valdez. Can he take advantage in the final 25 seconds of round number 5? He lands it right again. Valdez looking to counter. Tension from the crowd as round number 5 comes to an end. Quigg wobbled Oscar Valdez as he goes back to his corner. We'll have some work to do. You got overconfident. Just relax. Give me water. Are you cut from the mouth? No.
Come on, Frankie. Fuck. Aquí, aquí. Ahí le va, ahí le va. Hey, man. Where's the Vaseline at? Tranquilito, cerradita la guardia, mijo.
And you gotta close your guard.
Hey, mira, todo está bien, no me hagas exceso de confianza. No
Everything's fine, just don't get overconfident. Don't walk back with your hands down.
Bien cerrada la boca, pásame la toalla, por favor.
Close your mouth, give me that
Bien cerrada la
towel.
boca, ¿sale? Bien cerrada la pinche
And
boca.
close your mouth.
Vámonos. Cuenta cuerno with the towel.
Tim, you called exactly what happened, and we saw that in the Cervania fight. Yep. Why did he get clipped with the right?
He got clipped with that right hand because he made that mistake. Freddie Roach told us that, hey, you want to put that pressure on him, we're going to make him, he's going to result back to what he always does. You know, we heard Valdez said that they went back, watched the tape, they know they worked on their mistakes, and guess what? Guess what happened? He pulled back with his hands down. What did Quigg do? Man, that right hand wobbled Valdez, the champion.
Now Valdez trying to load up with that left hand, be it downstairs or upstairs. He wants to connect with the left hook and the body shot with the right. And the blood coming out of the mouth of Oscar Valdez.
What you want to do if I was Valdez right now, what I would do is I would use my jab and my boxing ability, and every chance I get, I'll go downstairs. I'll work my hands just like that, smother him and tie him up just like that, and not allow Quigg to just bully me and do what he wants in there.
It's a lot harder than just taking that instruction. If he could keep him off just by the jab, he would. I mean, Freddie's instruction the other day is our strategy is not to outbox this guy. I think we can outpunch him. Just keep the pressure on him.
Tim threw 1,000 punches in this same ring against Ruslan Provodnikov. So if that's the case, he may need to do that against Valdez.
One of the greatest and most terrifying fights I've ever seen, Tim. Thank you for the thrill.
There's a combination punching now from Oscar Valdez as Quigg. If he comes in without throwing punches, Tim, Quigg is a whole different guy. And there we see the push from Quigg and Dr. Lou Moret right on top of it.
But the punches don't seem to be discouraging Quigg.
He's fighting a junior welterweight now.
That's my point exactly.
Great job in the corner of Quigg, too, with that cut. So we got to give credit there to the corner of Scott Quigg. And the mouth of Oscar Valdez continues to bleed. How's that going to affect him in this fight?
Man, he's spitting out blood coming out of his mouth. I don't know how, honestly, I ain't never been cut inside my mouth like that. But I know it's nasty. Blood dripping down in the back of your throat could affect your breathing a little bit.
Well, Quigg certainly knows what that's like after his bout with Frampton. Here's the thing, we all applaud Oscar Valdez for walking into the ring tonight and saying, I'm going to punish him and being oblivious to the weight limit. But tomorrow when he wakes up, he'll be the guy who took all the risk. And his career is not going to go forward on our praise from tonight.
You know, I spoke to Frank Espinoza right before this fight, and he said, I advised them, don't go in the ring. But it's your decision. And that's what Oscar Valdez did as an adult, decide to go in there, not wanting to disappoint the fans, and in a way,
he's paying the price for you. The fans and the broadcasters, they're not paying this price right now. They're not the ones getting hit.
Perfectamente bien. ¿De acuerdo? Síguelo boxeando, papá. ¿De acuerdo? Pero lo quiero alejado de las cuerdas, ¿sí? Bien, todo bien, pero alejado de las cuerdas. Estás trabajando muy bien el cuerpo, estás ganando bien el golpe y después te me vas. ¿Oíste? ¿Oíste, papá? Al aire. Al aire. Ahí quédate, quédate. Al aire.
Freddie Roach knew they had a window between rounds 5 and 7 to do some damage on Oscar Valdez. This is round number 7 of this fight, and Scott Quigg will continue to try to pour it on against Valdez. And even Freddie Roach said, Valdez, he comes back strong late in the fight, not because of his skill, but because of his courage.
Because of his courage. And he's showing that right now. But I see a sense of urgency in Quigg right now. He feels that he has Valdez right now, dancing to his beat.
Well, that beat is the body shots from Quigg and that overhand right as Valdez goes once again with those hands down. That's dangerous.
That's super dangerous. And Valdez is resulting back to what he normally does. He needs to correct that bad habit if he's on the move up. I continue to say that every time he fights.
Your best and worst habits come out under pressure.
Couldn't say it any better, Mark.
That's why he's a writer. Puts that on paper, and now he puts it to voice here on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Valdez, one of the striking things when you sit down with him, apart from how personable he is, but you know, a guy spends his life in the ring, and you can see the cuts, you can see the nicks, you can see the scars. He's never been cut, except tonight, inside his mouth. Something terrible is going on there.
Yeah, and it could be more than a cut, and nobody better than Scott Quigg to know what Oscar's fighting through. Look at the way the mouth is leaning towards one side. It could be worse than just a cut. The way Oscar Valdez's mouth is now open, I mean, this kid's fighting through something special.
Valdez is a warrior. That's why I love Oscar Valdez fights. He's a warrior. He's been through it. I told you the 2 fights before this, he had a war with Mariaga and he had a war with Genesis Cervania. He's ready for this moment right now.
He's going to have to dig deep against Scott Quigg, a man who's dug as deep as a man can dig in a world title fight against Carl Frampton, fighting 8 rounds with a broken jaw. Could the same be happening to Oscar Valdez here tonight?
I don't know. I don't know what the condition of his jaw is. I know that he's acquitted himself courageously tonight. It may be a thankless task. If he should win tonight, this will go down as a great one for his career.
Hero status for Oscar Valdez. Todd Grisham was listening in the corner of Oscar Valdez. How serious is this, Todd?
Well, they don't believe it's his jaw. They think he bit his tongue or somehow injured the inside of his mouth, but they're definitely saying it's not his jaw. It's an internal mouth injury. They believe he bit down on his tongue, and that's what's causing all the blood.
All right, well, that's better news for Valdez in one sense, but in another sense, the tongue bleeds a lot, and so he'll have to continue to deal with that after round number 7 of this 12-round championship fight here on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Bucket. No piso. No, estamos bien. Bien. Mira, amigo. Es el round número 8, ¿sale?
And Ireland's Mick Conlan, the Olympian, taking on Luis Fernando Molina. Don't miss next week's main event from New York City. All right, Oscar Valdez, 8th round, looking to dig deep and prove his mettle as a Mexican champion.
He trained in altitude in Mexico to help his endurance. There's some debate as to whether training in altitude actually helps you or not. Thank goodness he apparently stayed away from the perilous Mexican beef.
Well, the thing that he said was, as an amateur, when he was a 2-time Olympian from Mexico, he was in Mexico City. He said, I used to feel like I had 2 gas tanks when I would step into the ring. Well, he's proven to himself that he can go 12 rounds in his last 2 fights. A war here at the StubHub Center against Mariaga and then against Genesis Cervania. So here, you see that blood just dripping from his mouth, Tim.
Yeah, and at the start of the round, he went to the corner and he spit on top of the ropes. I don't like that right hand. Quigg is landing. Quigg is loving it. Oscar Valdez is not loving it at all. It's the right hand. He's sneaking it over the top of the jab. See how Valdez pulls his hands down when he steps back to just take a breather. So Quigg is doing exactly what he said he wanted to do.
Also he doesn't naturally throw straight punches. I don't mean that they're haymakers.
Yeah.
They're precise, but they always have a little arc to them.
Big left hook there from Scott Quigg, caught partially by the glove of Oscar Valdez. But Valdez looking for solutions here in the 8th round of this 12th round championship fight?
Well, one solution would be to let his hands go, like he sometimes do, but also tie up. Have you seen anybody tie up during this fight? Oscar Valdez never ties guys up.
He did earlier in this fight when he got caught with the overhand right, Mark.
I'll tell you what this is. This is another great stump hug fight. This is exactly what we talk about when we talk about a stump hug fight.
Big left hook to the body from Oscar Valdez, but Quigg walks right through it and continues to come forward, and that's got to be disheartening for Valdez at this point.
Quigg right now is having success. He's moving forward. You see about the heart of Valdez as he's come back and responds to Quigg's 2 shots that he landed while he was against the ropes.
See, I look at this fight, I'm still seeing what doesn't look like a fair fight. They don't look like the same size guy.
Well, that's the reason for it. 144 pounds, 142.2 and 135.6 at the time to step into the ring. This is for a 126-pound weight class, so it's working for Scott Quigg, although he'll get a ton of criticism if he comes out on top for taking advantage of the situation. Oscar Valdez looking for answers here as round 8 is about to come to an end at the StubHub Center, and we've mentioned this is a fight worthy of this venue as he goes over to the red corner to take instructions from Manny Robles. Miguel Diaz is the cut man. Let me clean him up. All right, better. You're boxing now. You're beating him to the punch. Touch him and then go to the body. Hit him in the stomach. Just keep going to the stomach. Close your mouth, though. I need that to be closed.
Where's the speed bucket?
You gotta box him. You gotta be intelligent. Come on, son.
Hurry. Yes, come on, Quigg.
The fight fans are loving this fight. You mentioned the quality of the fight. I mean, we've had some incredible fights happen in this venue. This will go down probably as one of those. The bloody mouth of Oscar Valdez and the bloody eye of Scott Quigg. And here comes Valdez. You know, they expected this from Quigg's corner. Said it's not so much the skill, but it's the heart of Valdez that keeps him pushing forward.
Again, now we're getting into the later rounds, and we're seeing an uptick in Valdez's activity, exactly as Freddie said.
All right, after 8 complete rounds, real quick.
Body shot he threw early in the fight.
All right, our colleague Dan Raphael, who is our unofficial scorer, has it 77-74 for Oscar Valdez. I have it a lot closer than that at this particular juncture. But anything can happen in this fight. Nice work to the body and then the uppercut from Scott Quigg as Oscar Valdez tries to answer with his own and then goes with the overhand right, chopping at the head of Scott Quigg, who leaves that wide open, and then he goes downstairs to the body. This is a toe-to-toe battle, Mexico and Manchester, England.
I can't help but be taken with the heart of Oscar Valdez. He's cut inside his mouth. He's fighting a much bigger guy, and he remains undiscouraged. That's what great champions do.
All right, Tim, in between rounds, they didn't want to touch the mouthpiece of Oscar Valdez. They didn't take it out. What does that mean?
Well, I guess they're trying to keep it, whatever's going on in there, they're trying to keep it inside. You know, I would take the mouthpiece out and wash his mouth out, rinse it out, get the blood up out of his mouth.
Means he's losing a lot of blood is what that means. It's not like a cut over the eye. It's not like you can put adrenaline on.
All right, well here the adrenaline inside Valdez's body is coming out because he connected some beautiful shots. A nice uppercut and an overhand right on Quigg, and then the left hook to the body, but then the double left hook from Scott Quigg.
You see the cross defense of Scott Quigg right now. Old school. I haven't seen that in a while, man, where you have George Foreman. George Foreman.
Oh, nice left hook to the body there from Valdez as Quigg opened up with the right hand.
You're seeing that left to the body that you saw from Valdez the first 2 rounds. And, you know, metaphorically, point of fact, you can't be more motivated, have more urgency than tasting your own blood.
But do you see where the hands at? From them body shots, do you see where Quigg's hands are at right now? They're by his side. Those body shots are having an effect right now. Valdez should maybe fake to the body and go to the head with a left hook or something.
Solid finish here to round number 9. This is a StubHub Center fight. Valdez Quigg, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. This is round 10 of a 12-round affair where Scott Quigg cannot win the world title tonight because he did not make weight. He's using that advantage to the fullest tonight against Oscar Valdez, whose teeth are out of line. They're offline if you get a chance to look at it later on. Nonetheless, his heart is right where it needs to be, Tim.
He's putting his heart on the line. He's behaving like a champion. He's fighting through pain. That's what champions do. You fight through pain. And also, Scott Quigg right there using the old trick that you do. You know, you get a guy that bends down, you want to force him down, take them legs away.
And you force him down with the body shot like Oscar Valdez there. And he continues to punish Scott Quigg. The weight, that is a huge difference here tonight in how powerful or lack of power Valdez has against Quigg. But that's not going to keep him from throwing punches tonight, Mark.
He's become better as he's become bloodier. The fight's worn on, and he hasn't, there's nothing diminished about him.
There may be something diminished in the nose of Scott Quigg. It looks like it's deviated septum. And so, I mean, when you look at this, you got a guy with a possible broken jaw, a guy with a possible broken nose. This is boxing. This is what you came to see. Are you entertained? Because Valdez and Quigg are here to give it to you and give you their heart, their passion, their soul.
And
nice right hand there from Valdez. Quigg still walks him down.
I don't think he knows any other way.
Nah. This man, there's no quitting this dog. I mean, he fought with a broken jaw. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Big left hook there from Quigg as Valdez takes it and moves forward.
Quigg right now, I don't know. He stepped back. There's something must be going wrong right now. He's not attacking like he normally was doing early on during the round and during the last couple of rounds. He's sitting back now. What is he waiting on?
See him look at his face.
Mexico, Mexico is what the crowd is yelling here at the StubHub Center, and give them all credit for showing up. It's pouring outside, and it's pouring punches inside the ring as well as Valdez and Quigg are putting on a show. Valdez with a nice combination, but here comes Quigg.
Quigg right there followed Valdez out. He followed him out with that and caught him with the left hook.
The pressure of Quigg. He said, I'm not going to let him rest when he throws the punches. That's been the difference between every opponent until tonight. He's keeping that true, but is it enough? In his last 3 fights under Freddie Roach, Scott Quigg connects on or throws 84% of his punches as power punches. Tonight, look at that, 411 power punches. That's about 75% compared to the 102 that he's landed. I mean, this guy goes for broke, but the percentage connected by Oscar Valdez at 36, very efficient.
We came into this fight, the discussion was dominated by the flaws of Oscar Valdez, and what I will leave here with is a sense of his virtue.
Yeah, Valdez has definitely shown improvements, I believe, in his craft. He actually tied up there for the second time, I believe, in this fight.
In his career.
But what I love is that he's using his hand speed right now. You see, using his hand speed, he can't hurt this big guy. He's not just trying to throw one hard shot at a time. He's letting his hands go right now.
Big left from Scott Quigg as Valdez comes back with something of his own. Both guys are leaning in, Tim. Somebody makes a mistake and gets paid. That could be the big difference.
I want to see the uppercut from these guys. Both guys are vulnerable right now at this point. You know, fatigue has set in. Valdez is showing the heart of a champion. Both of these guys need to be commended for the performance that they've given the fans tonight.
The Roach is probably not where Valdez wants to be.
Fatigue may be setting in, but it hasn't stopped Valdez from boxing.
And it is all over.
What he doesn't have, or doesn't seem to have at this weight, is the power that's due him as a featherweight. His normal power.
Yeah, it's because of the weight of Scott Quigg coming into this fight at 142.2. Nonetheless, both of these fighters are just pounding here in the championship rounds. To think that we have 4 more minutes of this as Scott Quigg has a chance to win the fight, but not the belt, as he did not make the featherweight limit.
Quigg the other day said, I want to leave the ring recognized as the British Mexican.
Oh, big left there from Scott Quigg. Valdez takes it, and it's going to come back with more.
And I think what people are going to leave with is the utmost admiration for Valdez.
But Valdez wants more than the admiration. He wants the adulation. He wants his belt, and that's a low blow from Scott Quigg. Now here Valdez would do what to take the full 5 minutes, Tim.
Well, you can take the 5 minutes, take advantage of it, absolutely, recover, but also Quigg can recover as well.
Let's take a look at the shot. Oh!
Yes, right on the money.
No doubt about that one.
Walk around.
Very low, and that'll go on the Scott Quigg no-no list of what he's done for this fight.
Both guys at this point, each of their faces are grotesque masks.
Yes.
Pick him up.
I would have taken a lot more time if I were Valdez. Tell you that.
Oh, big left hook from Oscar Valdez. And Quigg now is hurt here at the end of round 11. Can Valdez finish this off? You caught him now. That's it. But you gotta keep your guard close, but don't get careless. Those are the words of Manny Robles for Oscar Valdez. Freddie Roach.
All right, now let's go. You gotta give it all, okay? Just like that, right? Right here, okay? Let's let our hands go, okay? All right, pressure him the whole 3 minutes. This is 3 minutes of your life, okay? Give me it right now, right? The best 3 minutes right now. Give it to me. All right, I know you can do it. Let's go.
Those motivational words from Freddie Roach asking for Scott Quigg's best 3 minutes of his life. You know Valdez is gonna punch. You know Quigg is gonna punch. Who's gonna get caught? Valdez coming out looking to finish this fight, just like he did at the end of round 11. You've been in this moment, Tim. The crowd's gonna be pumping, his adrenaline's pumping. What gives?
What gives? Nothing. You in a championship. It's a championship fight. You know, nothing gives. I know Quigg doesn't get the belt, but you know what? If he wins this fight, he moves up in stature by beating this champion in Valdez.
Let him go. Step back. Step back.
Regardless of what happens tonight, both fighters will be in other great fights. And when we look at the list of great fights here at StubHub, be it Tim Bradley, Ruslan Provodnikov, Israel Vasquez, Rafael Marquez, Lucas Matisse, John Molina, Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado, we can keep going and going and going, but somewhere on that list will be Valdez Quigg.
Oh yeah, this is a war, a bloodbath.
What I think you're seeing tonight is the emergence of Oscar Valdez as a great fighter. I understand his flaws, but what we're seeing here tonight, hurt against the bigger guy, is special.
People love flawed fighters. The beauty of it is he's a flawed fighter in the ring and a great person outside of it.
He's not too flawed, by the way, but the flaws, no, but the stylistic flaws make him compelling. It makes him vulnerable.
I'll pay to see Oscar Valdez any day. I've had the privilege alongside Tim to call the Mariaga fight, and now we have this one as well as the Cervania fight. I mean, this guy is impressive.
This is a little different than the previous
It is, completely. He's had to dig deeper than ever tonight, and that's the proof
why I say
of
it's
champion.
special.
But think about it. He had to go through those other 2 fights to get to this point. Because if he didn't go through those other 2 fights, I don't think we see Oscar Valdez standing up in this fight.
All right, let's give the fans a gift. You're watching at home. Listen to the crowd react for this final 50 seconds of this fight. No matter what happened at the weigh-in, these 2 men know that they've earned the respect of the man across the ring tonight. Oscar Valdez will put his name now as one of the most exciting fighters in boxing today.
I think that what you've seen tonight is incontrovertible evidence that Oscar Valdez is indeed special, and it had nothing to do with technique. It had little to do with technique. Mostly what it had to do with was heart and courage.
Well, I agree with you at a certain point. It does have to do with the skill level of this young man, the amateur pedigree, the fact that he can stand there and he can trade with you, and he can also box.
This wasn't amateur pedigree. This is professional heart.
True, I get that. I believe that too.
Heart, pedigree, whatever you want to call it, Oscar Valdez and Scott Quigg gave us a gift tonight. We'll give you the decision when we return. Compared to what Oscar Valdez did against Quigg, and what a fight we had tonight. From the early going, it was Valdez worked to the body that set the tone, and then it was Scott Quigg coming back with the same type of work, setting up that right overhand to the chin of Oscar Valdez. At some point, there was a problem with Oscar Valdez's chin, but nothing wrong with his heart, as he kept coming back against a guy who weighed 142.2 pounds coming in. 135.6 for Valdez. Nonetheless, the numbers don't even come close to telling the story of what we saw in the ring tonight. Now the question is, the 4th defense of Oscar Valdez's featherweight title, is it successful or is it not? Michael Buffer's in the center of the ring with the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Max DeLuca and Terry O'Connor both scored at 117, 111. Larry Hazard Jr. scored at 118 to 110. All 3 scorecards go to the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, still the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Oscar Valdez Jr.
So it's more than a moral victory, it is a true victory. Dan Rayfield, for reference, had it 115, 113. I had it 116, 112 for Valdez, but a lot wider than what we saw. And real quick, as we take a look at the CompuBox numbers, 912 punches thrown by Oscar Valdez, but look at the power punches. He landed 175 at a 36% clip. That's why Oscar Valdez is still the champion.
Had the power punches, but without his customary power at 126 pounds.
Mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Gentlemen, trunks here are good, trunks here are good. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch up.
Referee Russell Mora is in charge. Oscar Valdez, Adam Lopez, the main event from the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. 20 knockouts, Lopez 13-1 with 6 knockouts. Lopez has the 3.5-inch height advantage, as well as a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Lopez in the blue trunks with the white trim, Valdez the flashy red trunks with the gold trim.
Lopez is a tricky, slick boxer. Very different than what Valdez was preparing for in Gutierrez.
Andres Gutierrez, the original opponent, was 11 pounds overweight yesterday. Disgraceful display. Deemed unprofessional by about everybody in the boxing world.
Lopez flashing a beautiful jab so far. Trying to feint Valdez, but he's not bit on any of them.
Splits the guard with a straight left hand. The jab working early for Lopez. Now doubles up. Goes to the body. Both of these fighters, up until a day ago, preparing for somebody else. Lopez was preparing for Luis Coria. Valdez preparing for Andres Gutierrez. Valdez on the attack, a strong right hand to the body that stunned Lopez for a moment.
The question for me early is what's going to happen when Valdez lands some of that vaunted power that we've seen at the 126-pound division.
Lopez
unheralded Lopez.
Right, Lopez was knocked down in his last fight, came back to win in a TKO in the 7th round against Giancarlos Rivera.
And I believe that was a left hook, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's Valdez's punch of choice.
Adam Lopez, the son of former 1984 Olympic silver medalist Hector Lopez, who passed away at the age of 44 in 2011. Lopez has won 5 fights in a row. Valdez coming off a win by unanimous decision against Jason Sanchez, who was previously undefeated. An entertaining fight, but one-sided, with Valdez scoring a knockdown in the 5th round. Combination from Valdez finishes with a right hook across the chin of Lopez.
Lopez at his best is very good upper body rhythm, meaning he keeps his shoulders moving, his level changing up and down. He's not doing that yet. He hasn't found, as they said in the fighter meeting yesterday, him and Buddy, his groove yet. But they said when he found his groove, watch out.
Lopez is 23 years old. Valdez 28. Valdez showing some flashes here in the 1st round. Good combination work. Backing down Lopez.
Good opening round. I gave that to Valdez. He was more aggressive. He landed more of the cleaner punches.
Got knockout written on it.
Lopez's corner with Hall of Fame trainer Buddy McGirt.
Keep him turning. Don't let him get set. Don't let him plant his feet. You understand? Nice and relax. Jab is working beautiful, and he's fighting the feint. So if he throws...
Tíramela por encima la otra derecha, contragolpéatela. Hay que mover la cintura cuando vayas adentro, mijo. Si ya lo estás agarrando cuando le hagas unos golpes. No quiero que le pegue y luego te vayas a aventar porque quedas mal parado. Tranquilo, ve moviendo la cintura, bloquea aquí y bloquea las derechas aquí. Metes, ya cuando te le metas hay que combinarlo.
Eddie Reynoso, the trainer for Valdez, two-time Olympian. His home country of Mexico. He did grow up, placed his younger years in Tucson, Arizona before moving back to Mexico. Junior high and high school. That's where he currently lives. A big farm with lots of animals. Seems like a lovely life.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that. We don't get that in New York.
Peacock, alligators, turtles, snakes, horses, all over the place. Round number 2 of a scheduled 10. Lopez has never been past 8 rounds.
Chance of Lopez in the arena tonight.
Not far, Glendale, California. Just a quick 45-minute flight. Lopez bringing some fans, and I'm sure even more hopped on a jet last minute when they found out he was going to be in the main event of this fight.
Or jumped in a car.
Well, that's true.
I heard some did that.
It's also an option. 4-hour drive. Lopez fighting out of trouble with that combination.
And Lopez is much classier than his 14-fight resume would suggest.
Well, like we said, comes from a boxing family. Obviously, his dad an Olympian, silver medalist, trained by a class act in Buddy McGirt. Pedigree can go a long way.
Yes, yeah. Not lacking in that department at all is Lopez.
Good movement so far from Lopez. Side to side, changing up the angles, doubling up on the jab.
His lateral movement is actually phenomenal from the tapes that I've seen. Like I said, his upper body rhythm, his lateral movement, his jab, and he's slick in combinations. If there's any kind of exchanges, he's very, very slick with his head movement while he's firing. Hard to hit, and then he's countering you at the same time.
Lopez switching up stances. Overhand with the right. Oh, Lopez scores the knockdown! Unbelievable!
6, 7, 8. ¿Está bien?
Valdez says, come on, let's go. Lopez elevated from the undercard to the main event, and boy, is he taking advantage of this opportunity. Valdez knocked down for the first time in his career, hasn't been knocked down since facing Genesis Cervania in 2017. Both fights, he came back to win. Has some work to do now here in the second as Lopez is on the attack.
Wow is right. Lopez was brilliant that round and so smart afterwards. Stayed very sharp, did what got him there.
Stay smart.
Wow.
A left uppercut. Low hook, whatever it was. Boom.
It's kind of a 45-degree punch. It's a kind of a mixture of a lead left uppercut and a left hook. Beautiful punch variation there. Throw the right hand over the top. Valdez dunked down, comes right up with that ripping. You can generate a tremendous amount of power there. You're using your whole body and your torque and your legs, and you're also incorporating some of your bicep in that as well, so you're able to really dig on that shot, which is...
And you see in the background of that shot, Miguel Berchelt watching Valdez go down. A potential title fight between these two hanging in the balance, but Adam Lopez has something to say about it.
Hold on.
Valdez actually looked at his corner when he got up immediately and put his hands out and said, I'm okay, it's fine.
It's getting very interesting here in Las Vegas. Round number 3. How will Valdez respond after being knocked down in the second?
One thing about Valdez is he's a very focused fighter. Even when things aren't going right, like especially when he broke his jaw against Scott Quigg in a very tough fight against a very, very good champion. He's still able to stay in control of his emotions, go out there and get the job done.
Look at Lopez's record, 13-1, only 6 knockouts. He's got a lot of power for only having 6 knockouts.
Power comes from a lot of places, quick hand speed, timing, rhythm, and it seems like Lopez has all of those things in spades, which can equal power.
Straight left hand from Valdez, 2 minutes to go here in the third.
Fighter meeting yesterday, Buddy McGirt was speaking so highly of Lopez in the gym and how he was beating up all his guys, and then eventually he started training him.
Said he was showing up to the gym in pajamas and beating his fighters.
Beating all his guys up.
Overhand right from Valdez stuns Lopez for a moment. Lopez regains his composure, goes to the body.
Lopez is just slick. Changes levels, pulls out, changes, goes from righty to lefty, steps right back in, hits the body, rolls out. Beautiful stuff so far.
Left hook back-to-back from Valdez, landing flush. Valdez doesn't seem the worse for wear after that knockdown.
No, he seems like he's got his wits together.
Goes for the body. We haven't seen a ton of body work from either of these fighters yet.
I think the big difference here is going to be the defense of Adam Lopez. And Valdez is a power puncher. He needs to be set. You can see in his stance he needs to be set. That was one of the things that Buddy McGirt was alluding to in the corner. Don't let him get set. Keep turning. Keep turning.
And what can Lopez do to do that, to keep turning Valdez?
Well, it's all about his feet. You know, like you said earlier about his lateral movement, taking those steps, step around, step outside the foot of Valdez. So his power is going to be in between everyone's power is in between their feet. If you're stepping around, they don't have that power anymore.
Oohs and ahs as Valdez caught Lopez on the inside. Lopez is taking these shots well.
Yeah, that was a big concern of mine of how he was going to take the power of the bigger, more experienced Valdez.
Overhand rights from Valdez as we wind down the third.
He righted the ship, as they say.
Valdez going back to working that jab. Crab walk stance that Valdez has.
Well, he does that for his feet. He needs his feet to be set. He's a power puncher.
Good combination from Lopez. Comes straight ahead with the right hand. Lopez's corner telling him not to just stand there and eat those jabs from Valdez. Valdez, the first Mexican to compete 2 Olympic Games. First Mexican to medal at the World Championships, won a bronze medal in 2009. Decorated amateur, undefeated professional. Jab has been effective here in the fourth for Valdez.
Lopez is following the directions of Buddy McGirt very, very well.
Lopez eats an overhand right. Seems to be the shot that Valdez is trying to set up. He's thrown it numerous times to varying degrees of success. Buddy McGirt yelling to Lopez, keep your hands up, right hand up.
Good right hand there by Lopez. Shot across the shoulders of Valdez.
Left hand to the body comes through for Valdez, but not before Lopez lands 3 punches. 1 minute to go here in the fourth round.
Smart movement there from Adam. Came in, took what was there, was body shots, and moved out, slid right out.
Who knows, maybe it was Lopez that overfed Andres Gutierrez to get this fight. Lopez over the top with 30 seconds to go here in the fourth.
Love the jab high and low, high and low. It's been a consistent weapon of Lopez.
There's that overhand right again, Chris, from Valdez.
But it seems that Lopez rolls with it just enough where he's not taking the full impact of the punch.
I wouldn't want to keep testing my luck.
Good point.
There's another right hand. That one lands flush for Valdez. Lopez didn't roll out of that one as Valdez lands cleanly and scores to the end of the fourth.
So I have it
38-37 looking at your score.
38-37 for Oscar Valdez.
Plenty of time for both fighters. Lopez, when he shortens up those punches, boy, the left hook is dangerous.
His combinations on the inside, very, very dangerous. When he gets in that crouch and is moving in and out like that and changing levels, it's very difficult to hit.
It's inside and lands an uppercut, does Adam Lopez.
It almost seems like not one guy ever lands a clean punch. They both land at each other at the same time. Good shoulder roll there by Valdez.
Well, that just shows you the fact that Lopez isn't scared of what Valdez is throwing at him.
No, not at all. He fights in the pocket very well, from what I've seen. Even in past fights when he's been hurt or been dropped, he still believes in his ability to make punches miss.
Overhand right after a left hook to the body from Valdez. A flurry now from Lopez.
Go, let go, let go.
Mora, your referee, midway through this fight. Keep waiting, Chris. Keep watching that overhand right from Valdez. He continues to go back to it.
The reason he's doing that is Lopez keeps moving into that right hand. So he's moving to his left, moving to his left, moving to his left. So he's moving away from his left hook because Valdez is a great left hook, and he knows that. So he's moving to the opposite side, which is causing Valdez to look to cut him off with the right hand.
Is there anything Valdez can do to get Lopez moving in the direction he wants him to go?
Well, I mean, he's got a great overhand right as well. I would like to see him come with the overhand right and then follow up with the left hook, especially to the body. Kind of cut him off that way.
Lopez has thrown nearly 90 more punches than Valdez, however, only landing about 9 more. Valdez landing and getting out of the way.
Yeah, Valdez is starting to land his jab now, something that hasn't been consistently landing.
Left-right combination from Lopez, followed up with a straight right, then an uppercut. 5 unanswered punches from Adam Lopez.
Lopez's precision, man, with those right hands.
He's got Valdez on the ropes with 20 seconds to go here in the 5th.
And look in the hole.
Good round for Adam Lopez.
Gave him that round. Here we see Valdez using his jab to set up the overhand right, which made contact, but not as clean as he would have liked.
Round number 6.
Good body shots there from Lopez.
Now Valdez on the attack.
Anytime you get close to Lopez, though, it's dangerous because he's got such short, little shots on the inside. Nasty little uppercuts, right hands across the shoulder.
Hands free, hands free.
Just seems like Valdez is looking for the one shot. He's looking for the home runs. Lopez is looking for the singles and doubles.
Right. Lopez just chipping away. Scoring punches.
Beautiful jabs.
Seems like 4-1 in terms of punches thrown the last couple rounds in favor of Lopez.
Don't get away from your stick, Adam. That's right. Back on the jab. Back on the jab. Beautiful. Double that shit up.
Straight left hand. Valdez put some oomph into that one. But nothing behind it, Chris.
No, yeah, one and done. He's hitting Lopez like he expects him to turn to dust.
Right.
With each shot.
Hasn't happened yet. Lopez continues to come forward.
All right, buddy. That's all you needed to stick. There you go, that's it. Keep using that stick. Keep punching.
There's a left hook.
Oh, right on the money.
Lands cleanly for Valdez.
Lopez taking the power very well.
Keep touching. Back to the jab, Adam.
Minute to go here in the 6th round. Valdez has his work cut out for him. Lopez knocking down Valdez in round number 2.
Just watch the feet. Watch how set Valdez is, and look how much movement Lopez gives. in, out, side to side, steps in, steps out, rolls out, throws a right hand, walks away.
Counter right hand, and then admiring his work, Lopez walks away.
Changing levels, cutting angles, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Amazing footwork so far from Adam Lopez.
In terms of power punches, the CompuBox numbers has Valdez triple the total of Lopez through nearly 6 rounds. However, it's Lopez the one, Chris, that at least has been doing the more consistent of the work.
Yeah, it's a battle of single explosive power shots versus the guy who's got consistent jabs.
Right hand from Valdez ends round number 6.
Good advice from McGirt. Don't get hit with nothing. Wish my coaches would tell me that.
Is that all it would take?
Sounds like something my dad would say.
7th round. WBC Junior Lightweight World Title Eliminator. Got the mandatory fight for Miguel Berchelt, WBC champion at 130 pounds.
Fighter meetings yesterday, Valdez wanted to say, everyone knows of me as a power puncher, come forward guy. I want to show my boxing skills. I don't think Adam Lopez is the guy who you want to show your boxing skills against.
Especially if you're behind in the scorecards.
Love the feinting from Lopez.
Keep touching that arm, let's go!
Lopez pushing Valdez into the ropes. Valdez bounces off with an overhand right. 1 minute into the 7th round.
Nice double jab there from Valdez.
Right hook to the body. Lopez withstands the pressure and now has Valdez in the corner. Lopez wobbled. Lopez down. Now each fighter scoring a knockdown. Here comes Valdez. Sensing blood with 1:15 to go in the 7th. The tide's turning. Valdez stalking his prey.
Lopez is coming back now.
Standing on the inside, which is where Lopez has done his damage.
His balance is a little rough, but he's firing back. He's starting to see the punches now. Sometimes it just takes a little bit for your balance to come back.
Beautiful combination from Valdez. Lopez trying to get out of the way. Valdez pushing him into the corner with 40 seconds to go in the round. Confidence back in Valdez. Trying to regain control of this fight. Left hook lands cleanly. Blood from the nose of Lopez. Big right hand, and a combination ensues. Valdez, and that's it! Russell Mora steps in and ends the fight in the 7th round.
Lopez heavy on his feet here. This is already he already got hit with a lead left hook. I believe it was high on the head. Took the equilibrium of Lopez. There's a shot. No, it was right on the nose. So it was a lead left hook by Valdez that it was a tricky shot. It wasn't really set up. It just kind of lunged in. Caught Lopez, he didn't see it. Hurt him, pushed him into the ropes. Valdez went for a home run shot while he was still on the ground. That's good thing that missed. Second knockdown here, we see Valdez opening up, unloading with both hands. Lopez is rolling with them well, but then takes a big right hand.
Jimmy Lennon will make it official in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 53 seconds of round number 7. A referee in charge stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is the winner of the WBC Super Featherweight World Title Eliminator and still undefeated, Oscar Valdez.
We are ready for it. Live from Vegas, WBC Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Another highly anticipated title fight from Vegas. The undefeated recent world champion as the challenger. The seemingly ceaseless, unstoppable punching machine as the champion. Russell Moore is the referee. We've seen him in big fights here in the bubble this past year. Loma Lopez, Ramirez Postal had controversy with Franco Maloney.
Trunks here are good. Trunks here are good. Anything below this line's a foul. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Acuérdense, quiero una pelea limpia. Dios los bendiga. Toque Montes.
In the last 2 decades, 5 times the fight of the year was Mexican versus Mexican. We have heard the names Barrera and Morales plenty this week. And perhaps like those 2 Mexican legends, this more than just one night. Maybe this is the first night of what will become 2 names forever linked. Fighters know, they know this moment when the man opposite you can make you a better version of yourself, demanding you give more than you ever have. For Berchelt Valdez, that moment comes right now. Here we go, round 1. Andre Ward, what are you looking for early?
Looking for Valdez to get that jab working. Those feints like you just saw right there. He's the smaller man. Stay small. Don't raise up and try to hit the face or the head of Berchelt early on. Be disciplined. Feint, use your speed, and use your jab. For Berchelt, he's going to do what he always does. He takes a round or 2 to warm up. He'll prod and paw with that left hand, and then he'll start to let both hands go to the body and to the head.
This range finding with that jab for Berchelt at the moment. The guy who typically throws over 81 punches per round in his world title fights.
I don't like that Valdez is loading up already with the overhand right and the right to the body. It takes a lot of energy, and it's just unnecessary right now. Just touch Berchelt. Don't try to knock him out with one shot.
Berchelt right now is just trying to set up shop right now. You see him constantly gathering rhythm, his rhythm, and also movement, keeping his distance from Valdez.
Even though Berchelt is the favorite, even though Berchelt is the champion, there is deep-seated motivation. We talked about the fact that you go back to their days as the amateurs. It was Oscar Valdez who was given the opportunity. It was Oscar Valdez who was fast-tracked for the Olympic spots. He comes forward with a left hand follow-up right.
Valdez, he gave up a lot of energy to get a right hand block and to miss the other shot, when he can get those same points and cause more damage by using the left hand, and he can also remain safe while he does it, just like that.
You know what this is called, what Valdez is doing? He's fighting with emotion right now. You know, you've seen his face, the way he looked when he came in, real serious. You know, he's fighting smart. He really is, but he's fighting with a lot of emotion. He needs to be cautious, like you said, Dre.
Well, it's a lot of nervous energy he's giving up. Yes.
Almost as if there's a clenched fist before it even comes to the point of the punch.
And you see how calm Berchelt is.
Well, what did he say in the locker room earlier? About 2 hours ago, he said, just look at my smile.
Yeah.
Look at my smile. That's the kind of night he felt he was having then and he wants to have now. Relaxed, fun. Now working the jab a little bit here. Half a minute to go in round number 1. Big left hook comes in well off the mark from Valdez. That left hook is so dangerous. We've seen the power from Valdez before with it. Double jab, right hand blocked. Hardly the kind of Berchelt round we've seen, but he will get that engine revving for sure. Quick break, end of 1. More from Vegas in a moment.
¿Cómo lo sentiste?
Bien, está rapidito, pero no siento que...
Okay.
Sí, los volados, nada más me queda agarrar así.
Cierra.
Es muy fuerte, pero es lento. No quiero que te vayas a quererlo comer, que luego te aventaste rápido con un voladote, güey. Tranquilo, güey. Le vas a ir ganando los contragolpes y como Fal vaya avanzando la pelea, le vas a ir ganando más fácil. Él es muy lento de piernas, es lento para defenderse, pero tiene buena pegada. No quiero que arriesgues a aventarte porque te puede recibir de un buen golpe, ¿ok?
Tú con ese volado, campeón. ¿Cómo lo sentiste en la
Tranquilo, ok.
Couple young superstars getting through rapid testing to be here ringside. Shakur Stevenson, 15-0, now 130-pounder, former featherweight champion. He could be facing the winner. And there is the undisputed lightweight champion. Trying to make the company proud, I can see there, Teofimo Lopez, who beat Lomachenko in a spectacular win here October 17th of last year, right here at the MGM Grand. He'll have a purse bid for his next title defense coming up this week. Two of the real young superstars in the game here to see Berchelt and Valdez in that first round. Valdez, 8 connects, 29 thrown. Berchelt, 5 connects, 31 thrown.
Eddie Reynoso was telling Oscar, look, he's big, he's powerful, but he's slow, both with his hands and with his feet. Look, I saw you lunge in with that big right hand. Don't do that. Set it up because he's looking to counter.
Dre, you said Valdez has the great asset of speed. He has to use the hand speed and foot speed to his advantage.
Well, yeah, Valdez is quicker than he is fast. He can get to the target quick if he doesn't load it up. He gets in trouble when he throws big leaping left hooks and big right hands. But when he throws a jab like that, it's on the mark. Trust me, Berchelt feels it and is piling up points.
Can see the size difference that Reynoso cited. 2-inch height advantage, but 16 pounds gained from coming off the scale for Miguel Berchelt. Stepped on the scale, perfect 130. Stepped on the scale tonight, 146.2.
Seeing a lot of respect from the champion. He's respecting the power and the speed. He's still trying to figure out his range against Oscar Valdez.
Doing so with the jab, nearly came with the right hand, and then Valdez decides to try to time it and open up with a combination.
There you just saw the size difference. Size doesn't always matter just with punches, but it matters when you're inside. So you see Valdez give all his effort to throw, and you see Berchelt just nudge him off. That takes a lot of energy out of Valdez. So size is about the physicality, not just the punch.
It's a great point. And then there's that punch resistance that becomes so important.
Right now, Valdez is fighting a smart fight right now. Using defense, attacking in the right spots, using his jab effectively. Even with the 5-inch reach disparity, he's finding a home for his jab occasionally. Like there, beautiful work.
And good quick jab as well. Snapping it off. Comes back with it. Valdez with the up jab.
Yeah, Tess, I can't say it enough. That's the most important punch for Oscar Valdez. The left hand.
And you can see blood coming from the nose of Miguel Berchelt. Good work tripling up the jab now, Valdez. Valdez bringing out some blood in the nose of Berchelt.
Valdez needs to ignore the blood and keep doing what he's doing. It's not time to attack yet.
Just beautiful boxing bomb right now. Look at that. Changing direction right there in a nice 1-2 combination. He's fighting the perfect fight right now. Out at distance.
Well-measured start, utilizing the jab. Oscar Valdez. CompuBox has both men landing 15 punches as we start round number 3. When it comes to the jab and the accuracy, Valdez at 32%, Berchelt at 22%. Tried to come over with a right hand, Valdez, to start this third round.
See, this has been the key to and the success for Oscar Valdez. Beautiful jab right there. Even though he's a shorter man and has a shorter reach, he was still able to time his jab like he's doing there against Berchelt.
Bernardo, what are you hearing?
Jose Alfredo Caballero said, look, I know he's landing that jab. What you need to do is counter with the right. Don't lose your mind. Take your time. The fight is still early. Be smart, and you will be able to pour it on late. But his hands are quick.
They're acknowledging the quick hands, the quick jab of Valdez, but it obviously can be a countering opportunity with the right hand from Berchelt. Closes the distance now in the corner before they tie up.
All right, nothing back here.
Even though that was a foul, I like the fact that Valdez tried to make Berchelt pay for lunging in like that. He's sending a message to Berchelt, letting him know that you can't come in here any kind of way. If you miss, I'm going to try to make you pay.
Beautiful jab right there.
from Valdez. Look for the left hook to come around, you know. You're going to see Berchelt try to block the jab with his right hand. And the left hook of Valdez should find a home for itself soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to land, you know, start landing for Valdez.
There was the left hook from Valdez.
It's that jab, though, Tim, that jab. And he can even bring that jab downstairs as well.
Man, look at the movement. I mean, Valdez is fighting the perfect fight right now. Not standing in front of this big man, using his legs, popping in. He has the quicker hands, using his athleticism right there. Beautiful work by the young man.
And getting out of trouble as well. Had his back against the ropes, and you know when Berchelt gets somebody in that situation, all the awkward punches and bunches come, and Valdez quickly turns out and exits out the side door to the right. Turns over a left hook, trying not to be smothered, and then ties up.
Berchelt looks weight drained to me. His punches look a little lethargic. You saw that left hook right there?
Dre, do you agree with that assessment early on by Timmy?
No, it's too early to tell.
It just looks
too early to tell for me.
Able to get out of the way of that left hook from Valdez.
In front. Punches in front.
Fires off a lead left hook that time. Coming to the end of 3 here in Vegas. Joe, Tim, and Dre ringside here. Round number 4, world title fight. Berchelt, Valdez. Tim, there was that moment in the 3rd round where Valdez found a little trouble that he had to get away from.
Yeah, we emphasize this on the Clicker Show. Don't stay on the ropes, Valdez, and he stays on the ropes just for a split second. Drops his guard. He thought a body shot was coming. Dropped his guard. Left an opening for that looping right hand. But to his favor, and to give him credit, he was able to take that shot on the chin.
Ooh. Left hook again from Valdez. Let's look at Andre Ward's card. 3-zip. Valdez, who was the big underdog when the lines opened up here in Vegas. We checked in with our contacts at Caesar. All the late money started coming in on Valdez. 87% of the total handle. Bet down to -300. Around town, you could shop it, get it -280. And right now, Dre has him up 3 rounds to zip early on.
The left hand is finding a home, Tim, like you predicted. And that's the punch that Berchelt, if you watch his fights, that he tends to get hit with. He doesn't defend well against the left hook. That was a punch that knocked him out early in his career when he had his first knockout loss. And Berchelt needs to keep using the jab and try to get that left hook in every chance he can get.
Berchelt trying to close the gap, does so with a right hand.
Stop! In front, punches in front.
I love the fact that Valdez is not showing any kind of respect. As soon as he gets close, he starts letting his hands go.
And on the separation, Berchelt wide swinging. Valdez trying to get away from it. He does back to the center of the ring.
You better believe that Berchelt's going to have runs that he tries to take within this fight. He's not just going to lay like, oh.
Look at that left hook from Oscar Valdez, and Berchelt is tied up.
Let go.
There it is.
He doesn't look good. He is hurt. Valdez is on the attack here. A minute to go in round 4. The left hook hurt Berchelt. Here comes Valdez. A minute to work. In the pocket, swinging. Yes. Berchelt's meeting him. Berchelt is on unsteady legs. Uppercut sends him back. Here's Valdez on the attack. Do we have a major upset brewing here in Vegas? Look at Valdez headhunting Berchelt. The champ is in trouble.
It's the left hook, Joe. That's what he wants. He needs another left hook to hit the spot.
Oscar Valdez, he doesn't know how to lose. Berchelt is finding something out as he tries to turn the tables and meet him with fire of his own. Damaged here in round 4. He's got 20 seconds to survive it. There's another left hook. Measures up another one. Lovely legs on Berchelt. Can he survive these last 10 seconds? Headshot after headshot. Valdez scoring with ease. Backs him up, and that's a technical knockdown. The ropes held him up. Look at his legs. Can he continue?
Come here, give me your gloves. Dame los guantes. ¿Está bien?
Spectacular round, and a shot comes in right at the bell. My, oh my, what do we have here, folks?
Okay, relájate.
I got that.
Es que lo está dejando crecer mucho, campeón.
Let him gain confidence. Give me some more water.
Okay.
He just gave you your best shots. You just can't stand there. You've got to hold on, man. Come on, champ.
Okay.
You better? Give me the towel. And some Vaseline. Take a deep breath. You've got to throw punches. You can't just wait on them.
Here's the first left hook that hurt Berchelt.
Talked about the left hook. That's the punch. That's Valdez's signature punch, and that's the punch that Berchelt, throughout the course of his career, he does not defend well against that shot. On top of the head, he had wobbly legs throughout the course of the round, and Valdez did the right thing. He tried to place shots in there and tried to land another left hook, and Berchelt is still hurt right now.
Tim, how does he look to you in these opening moments of round 5?
Not good, Tess. Not good at all. His legs are still wobbly.
Another left hook comes in.
And it's only going to take maybe 1 or 2 more shots, and it's going to be over.
Listen, he's out on his feet. Valdez needs to set up another shot. Don't rush it. Place the shot just like that.
Can you believe this? Oscar Valdez taking it right to Berchelt. Left hook to the temple, started it down the hill.
Miguel, you got to show me something, brother.
You just heard Russell Morris say, champ, you got to show me something.
Let me tell you this, when a puncher's hurt, when anybody's hurt, it takes the power off your shots. You don't have the same sting that you did before you got hurt.
Look at the control. The well-managed control. Valdez went with a right to the body and that left hook upstairs.
Valdez needs to shoot a jab and then fake the jab and come around with that left hook. It's right there.
He's putting on the performance of his life right now, Oscar Valdez is.
As he said he would. Chopping overhand, just missed.
Berchelt needs to buy some time to get his head together.
He doesn't know how, Dre. All he knows how to do is one thing, fight, fight, fight.
Ooh, big right hand from Valdez. Berchelt stands up to it and looks to exchange. Maybe he's thinking there's one lottery ticket left in those gloves. He comes forward now.
Stop, let go.
Berchelt right now is fighting on instinct and guts. That's all he's fighting on right now because he's hurt.
All week long, we told you the CompuBox superlatives of all the offensive firepower, but we also mentioned among elite fighters, 8th worst defense in the sport. He gets hit. Not only that, he gets hit with power shots. And that's what has turned this fight into this golden opportunity for Valdez.
The money shot is the uppercut for Valdez. It's a shot that Berchelt won't see coming. If he shoots the uppercut as he's coming in, this will be over.
Half minutes ago in round 5, Berchelt a little better on his feet, a little more willing to engage. But he has been damaged. Fighting on instinct means to punch, to get into the pocket, and he does as he fires off the uppercut. What drama we have here in the bubble. Let's listen in.
Yeah, I don't know what's keeping Berchelt up. It's all heart and all guts. But you see Valdez doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's trying to pour it on, and he's just trying to get that right shot to land there. And that was a good shot. It wasn't a great shot, but the ropes held Berchelt up. So in the state of Nevada, that is a knockdown.
It looked like a push to me. I didn't see a clean shot land right there.
Well, he was beaten and battered at that point. He was barely standing. That was long after the original left hook went to the temple. That hurt him badly. Round number 6, title on the line.
Tess, as long as Berchelt's around, he's still dangerous.
Always.
There's no doubt about that.
He's always dangerous until this fight is over.
34 knockouts in 38 wins. He is as dangerous as anybody is in the sport. And he looks a little better here at the start of round 6.
If you're Valdez, you want to go back to what set up that good shot. Stop trying to just land it and set it back up. That's how you got the success you got early on. So go back to that, and maybe you can land it again.
But the biggest problem is that he didn't go to the body. He should have went to the body. Those hands would be down even more, and he would have took a lot more out of Berchelt. He just got happy and comfortable headhunting.
But this makes it a lot easier if you're the smaller guy in the boxer facing the puncher, when the puncher knows that you can hurt him.
Ooh, that body shot hurt. Valdez right there.
Berchelt goes to the body and finds success.
Listen, Berchelt is thinking right now, I took his best shot. Now he's coming on, he's feeling strong, he's able to absorb and take the punches a lot more, I would say, easier coming from Valdez.
Stop, let go.
I just can't stop thinking about everything that was said this week. Look at this. How he talked about Julio Cesar Chavez picking Berchelt. How he talked about it's the first time on an underdog. And then yesterday, the president of Mexico FaceTiming Berchelt and lending support. They trade right there. Berchelt absorbed that far better than he did 2 rounds ago.
But that punch hit Berchelt right square on the chin. The one that hurts him is the punch that hits him on top of the head. That's the one he does not defend well against.
That left hook temple shot, side of the head, happened early in round 4. Awkwardness of Berchelt coming straight in against Valdez.
So for a true champion, when you get hurt, you get angry. Once you recover, you realize what happened to you, you get angry, and Berchelt is angry right now.
Not tying up, throwing on the inside that time was Valdez.
Berchelt felt that right hand right there.
He pops that jab. Berchelt trying to close that range again. Cut off the ring.
Oh, behind the head right there, rabbit punch from Valdez.
Time.
Rabbit punch.
No more punches back here. Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Let's go.
So the warning from Russell Mora.
Beautiful body shot right there from Oscar Valdez. That's where he needs to continue to go to drain Berchelt.
Here comes Berchelt. He started with the body attack. Now he's trying to go upstairs in the final moments here of round 6.
Nice tie-up right there from Oscar Valdez. That's what he needs to do. He needs to tie him up and don't allow him to come on. Beautiful left hook right here to the body. Double up here. Bring the hands high to cover. What do? Come underneath. Valdez did not expect that shot. Great setup right there from Berchelt.
But here's classic Valdez when he rolls out, puts all the weight on his left foot, and he leaps up with that left hook. That landed flush on the face of Berchelt. That buzzed him. Here we see another angle. Roll out. He knows Berchelt's right hand is down. And boom. Hit him right there on the temple. Berchelt took that left hook better than he did the ones previously.
And Berchelt had his most productive round of the fight. He was 15 of 62. He landed 12 power punches, throwing 41s, fight highs for him. Oscar Valdez is enjoying an 83-61 connected advantage. The highlight, of course, round 4, when he had 18 power punches landed of 64 thrown and scored the technical knockdown. Hurt him badly early on with a left hook.
Valdez's technique is suffering just a little bit right now. Part of it's fatigue and part of it's because Berchelt is picking up the pace. Valdez has to go back to what worked early in this fight. Jabs, pot shots, and hopefully he can land another big shot.
Look at Berchelt just trying to run him down, trying to get anything going.
Man, this guy is the Terminator, Berchelt.
Berchelt's trying to get some get back. He said, you want to do that to me? It's time for me to get mine now.
Stop, let go.
He's willing to make a fight of it. 5 rounds to 1 on Andre's card, including that 4th round, that 10-8 4th round when Berchelt was hurt badly, and the knockdown was scored by Valdez.
If Valdez doesn't get Berchelt out of there, it's going to be very interesting going down the stretch because Valdez, even though he had great success halfway in the first half of the fight, he gave up a lot of energy with the movement, the mental pressure, as well as all the punches that he threw.
No doubt about that. Let's see if it turns in that direction. Berchelt stalking. Goes to the body underneath with a right hand. Tries to chop down and windmill a right. Head movement from Valdez gets him out of trouble, and he spins out.
The right hand is available for Berchelt. Valdez is throwing the same single jab, the same speed. The right hand is available for him. All he has to do is shoot it anytime he sees a jab, right over the top of it.
follows Valdez back into the corner. Much different tone here in round number 7.
This is when the corner earns their money. They got a coach, their fighter. I'm talking about Eddie Reynoso. Oscar Valdez, through this moment, he has to let him know this is what's happening and this is what you have to do to keep your composure.
Right hand comes in from Berchelt. He's finding a little something here in round 7. Can see redness on the face of Valdez. He opens up with a left hook, goes right back to it again, chopping with a right hand. Here's Valdez now making a comeback. And what does Berchelt do to answer? He throws punches.
What is this guy
The
made of?
only thing they know. Oh, good stuff. Heck of a round.
Agarra aire, relájate. Take a deep breath and relax. Take a deep breath.
Estás muy buena condición, güey.
You've got great conditioning. Come on, man. I know you're doing well.
Que te vaya haciendo para atrás, hay que doblar, pasarlo y
You don't need to be stepping back. You need to be making a miss and step laterally. You had a really bad start to the round, but you finished really well.
No quiero que pierdas el enfoque.
I don't want you to lose your focus.
No quiero que pierdas el enfoque, por favor.
Don't lose your focus, please. You're doing well.
No pierdas el enfoque. No te lo quieras comer de un solo golpe ni estés ahí te queda.
Vamos, respira, respira.
Take a deep breath. Come on.
Déjala respirar.
Just let him breathe.
Otra vez. Respira, sigue respirando.
Continue breathing.
Cuando tú te quedes así, valiste, no. Cuando tú estás
When
ahí,
you stand there, you're done for. But when you throw punches, he can't handle it.
Vamos al round número 8.
We're going to round 8.
Here's the right hand of Berchelt.
That's the money punch right there for Berchelt. Oscar Valdez trying to find space, got caught up in the corner. We said stay off the ropes. Anytime he gets near the corner, what he needs to do is he needs to step in and tie up Berchelt and walk him back to the center of the ring, because that's where he's going to have success.
Consider how badly he was damaged in round 4, the way he looked in round 5, and now stacks a couple good rounds together, round 6 and 7. In that 7th round, Miguel Berchelt had a 19-13 connect advantage. He was 14 of 44 on power punches. Valdez did make a nice comeback at the end of that round, but early on, Berchelt was consistent, was doing his thing.
Now you see Valdez going back to what gave him the early success, which is the jab and the lead hand. It keeps the hard charging Berchelt at bay. It blinds him if you want to throw a right hand and a left hook behind it, because Berchelt has taken your best shot so he can compute a big lead right hand or left hand. But when you blind it or blind him with the left hand, the jab, now he can't see it. Just like that.
Telling you, the uppercut is the money punch from Valdez. It's a shot that Berchelt will not see coming. And the ones that you don't see coming are the ones that hurt the most.
That necessary jab turns it over into a hook.
Beautiful boxing right now for Valdez. Just beautiful boxing.
Good combination from Valdez.
Look at that. Turning outside the corner. Woo. Beautiful work by the young man.
Nice hop in his step and then a lead left hook again. Berchelt trying to work behind that jab.
Listen, I don't know why Valdez is switching as much as he is, and I haven't seen him ever switch as much as he is, but it's effective and it's working right now.
Stop. Let go.
Valdez is using that turn and burn, baby. Turn and burn. Keep turning him. Make him pick up his feet. That's what you do against a puncher. A guy that needs to stand in position to be able to land this offense.
Much better movement here, ring generalship in round 8 from Valdez.
Stop. No, knockdown. Give me gloves. Arriba, golpes arriba.
Those shots are straying kind of low.
Don't hold.
For Berchelt.
Upward coming body shots with the right hand. Eight rounds in the books here in Vegas between these Mexican warriors.
rounds that we're going to fight for glory.
Thank you.
Take a deep breath. Come on.
He's losing his leg.
Give me the towel. Let him breathe.
¿Está bien aquí?
No la presión. Dale, respira. Fuerte. Otra vez.
Look at this big overhand right that Valdez sets up off the jab. As Berchelt pulls back, trying to use his jab, trying to create some range. Right on the money, right on the temple, right there. And you see that Berchelt took it well.
Well, this is what I mean when I say the left hand can blind and freeze your opponent. That's exactly what it did right there. And that's why Valdez was able to land that shot clean and not get punched in return.
Okay? You're getting close with them hooks. Okay. Yeah, they have to be in front of the ear. Okay.
Round number 9. In that 8th round, Valdez had a 16-12 connect advantage.
When Valdez goes away from the left hand, the jab, he doesn't land the left hooks as cleanly as he is right now. When he's setting everything up with the jab, he's able to turn southpaw and land some lead shots, and he's also able to land that signature left hook and overhand rights. He's got to stay disciplined.
For such a highly competitive fight, I think many would probably find it fairly easy to score. You've got the highlighted knockdown round in the 4th. 78-73. The bounce back rounds by Berchelt were obvious, 6 and 7, and then a good 8th round for Valdez. He got off to a very good start of utilizing the jab. Then he had the power surge when Berchelt was hurt in rounds 4 and 5. Berchelt settled in, had his way in the 6th and 7th before Valdez comes back with good movement, good jab, and that overhand right in the 8th. 6 rounds to 2 with a 10-8 round.
That was a nice sequence right there. Valdez was on the ropes. He flicked out a left hand, landed a right hand for good measure, and got out of harm's way.
There's the left hook again.
He hurt him with that. He buzzed him. You can see the legs. Oh. Berchelt does not have the same power on his shots. When you get hit with big shots like that, like Dre said, it takes power away from your opponent when you're hitting them with big shots.
Biggest weapon Valdez possesses, and he is utilizing it well tonight. The left hook, switching stances though, and comes back with a right jab, a southpaw jab. And here he is now as a southpaw.
Now you see the body language from Valdez.
Uppercut combination, and he scores the knockdown. Valdez does it again.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here.
He's hurt.
¿Está bien? ¿Quieres más pelea? Get back.
Can he finish him? Can Oscar Valdez take the throne from Berchelt? Coming in with right hands. Showing the patience of a veteran, of a champion, fighting smart. Sweeping headshots. Tim, you said he must go to the body in situations like this.
Go to the body. That'll take a lot more out of your opponent if you go down to that body when they're hurt, and they'll bring their hands down.
Right hand comes in. Berchelt survived the 4th round. Can he get out of this 9th round? He's got to be careful. That left hand again. Sweeping right hand from Valdez. Oscar Valdez in control here as we come to the end of round 9. For the 2nd time, he puts down Miguel Berchelt.
Campeón. No valió verga, que no tiras.
Hey, come on, man. Do you want me to stop it? No.
Dame la recta. Nunca te vas a poner cómodo. Nunca te vas a poner cómodo que se mueve mucho.
Listen, I can't let him take an excessive punishment. He doesn't show me something, I will stop the fight. You understand?
You see Oscar Valdez turning southpaw feeling good, and you know a fighter's feeling good when they start throwing combinations you haven't seen all night. That was creative, that was thoughtful. He said, let me bring it up. I think he might have heard Timothy Bradley ask for the uppercut, and it landed cleanly, and you saw the results that it produced right there with Berchelt. Berchelt is in a bad way right now. He's not recovering in between rounds. Valdez has an opportunity to step this thing up and potentially get this knockout.
Seconds out.
I'm going to tell you right now that Berchelt is behind big in this fight. And if I was in this corner right now, I would stop this fight. He's taking too many power shots to the head.
If you look at his legs, he's bouncing, but they're not steady. That means that his equilibrium is not right, his balance is not right, and he's a shot or two away from getting knocked out.
He doesn't start throwing punches, I'm going to have to stop the fight. So that is in the mind of Jose Alfredo Caballero in Berchelt's corner.
There's another big shot from Valdez. Valdez can sense it.
Joe Mora's got to take a close look at this. I understand this is for Mexico and their warriors, but he's got to take a close look at Miguel Berchelt. If Miguel Berchelt won't stop, he may have to stop it for him.
Taking too many punches, too many power shots.
Look at his face. Look at the swelling. And he's eating these left hooks. And now snapping jab and a right hand comes in from Valdez.
Stop. Let go. Stop in.
He's got to watch him.
Perfect game plan put forth from Oscar Valdez on the night when he needed to be perfect. Switching stances.
See that switch right there? That's just creating a different angles.
Switches back to orthodox.
For his offense.
He has shown everything tonight.
Everything.
Absolutely everything.
Masterful performance tonight by Oscar Valdez.
Motivated by doubters, including his boyhood idol, Julio Cesar Chavez, on a night when Berchelt said, I take a step closer to reaching that goal of Chavez's 9 successful title defenses at 130 pounds with the green belt. And now, if he doesn't have a massive turnaround, that green belt is going the other way. That's a slip in the corner where there is moisture from the water and ice.
Wipe this corner.
And Russell Mora instructs them to wipe it down.
Valdez is in a zone right now. He is in an absolute zone right now.
Trey, it's almost as if you could see it in his eyes, wide open, hyper-focused all night long.
He's heard the talk from his countrymen and from those, you know, in the boxing community. And that motivated him.
Yep.
It's not always the bigger man that wins. It's not always the hardest puncher. Brains, toughness, and skill can get it done.
Well, brains is toughness. You got to stay disciplined when you use your brains. That is toughness, Dre.
Absolutely explosive. Oscar Valdez is the new champion. The UMC Trauma Center is where Miguel Berchelt will be headed to. And that is very close by. And what a beautiful scene here of the two countrymen, the two men who live in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico. To think one man has the greatest moment of his professional career, a celebration that'll last deep into the night, while another man, his family and friends have to watch that. There is nothing like the drama that this sport produces at this level. It was 10 absolutely brutal, fascinating rounds. It was a sublime performance by Oscar Valdez. At 29 years old, he is 29-0, now 23 knockouts, and just took the WBC Junior Lightweight Championship away from the great Miguel Berchelt. This way, Tim Bradley, take us through it.
Valdez has been fighting the perfect fight all night. Knowing when to box, when to move. But this right here is saving grace. Left hook with the movement allowed Berchelt to come forward. Just beautiful work right here, man, by Valdez. finding a home for his saving grace, that left hook. I knew as soon as he hit someone, as soon as he hit Berchelt clearly, I knew it was going to be over.
Watch the legs on impact.
Getting out of range, beautiful setup, boom, right on the chin.
Every part of him crumbled
Unreal.
To the ring. But right now, he is on the stool. They're unwrapping the gloves. They will get him to the UMC Trauma Center. The left hook all night long. Oscar Valdez, a young man who was born in Mexico and then went to Tucson, Arizona when he was just a year old, went to elementary school in Arizona through 5th grade, and then parents divorced. He went back to Mexico with his father. His career has taken him to the greatest heights, a 2-time Olympian, a world champion at featherweight. You see Teofimo Lopez celebrating the win. Here it is in real speed. Listen to this. It was before the bell for those who are questioning it. And the celebration, biggest win of his career. Vacated his featherweight championship to move north to 130 pounds, Dre. What a performance by Valdez.
You know, you never underestimate a champion. This guy never lost his belt in the ring. He has and had everything it took to get in here and do what he did tonight, so I'm not surprised. He's a champion level fighter mentally and obviously physically and with his heart.
Out of respect for what happened in the medical situation with Berchelt, we had to give pause, but now we can make it official. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the MGM Grand, this bout comes to an incredible conclusion. 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 10. For your winner by knockout and new WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Oscar Valdez!
Still undefeated. His greatest night, Oscar Valdez. We will hear from the new champ when we come back. The sensational performance by Oscar Valdez, the 10th round knockout of the reigning champ, Miguel Berchelt.
That was unbelievable. You know, Oscar Valdez fought the fight of his life. I mean, you know, I told you guys, I said he had 2 options. He can box on the back foot. He did a little bit of everything. He exchanged with Berchelt. He boxed on the back foot with Berchelt. He switched southpaw. He did it all to win.
What does it feel like to silence everyone who didn't believe in you?
I want to thank God for this opportunity for me winning. And I said it before, there's nothing better in life than proving people wrong. I have a list of people who doubted me. My idols doubted me. Boxing analysis doubted me. They said Berchelt was going to knock me out. But you know, I got a message out there to tell everybody. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Always work hard. If you're disciplined in life and you try to do your best, you know, you stay disciplined, anything is possible. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Always prove them wrong.
We all thought you had to fight the perfect fight, that you had to stay focused the entire time. How were you able to pull off this upset against the most feared puncher in 130 pounds?
My team, you know, it's a lot of teamwork. A lot of times it's being smart and disciplined, staying focused. And there's a lot of distractions out there. It wasn't easy training with a pandemic, but like I said before, just always try to go for your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Always train hard. Do your best, try to always be number one. Nothing's impossible. So I said it before, there's nothing better in life than proving people wrong. And I think my team was a big part of this. I want to thank my father for being with me since day one. You know, I thank my family, my trainer Eddie De Reynoso, my manager Frank Espinosa, my cousin Bubba, you know, Nassim, Dr. La Madrid. I got a list of people who I want to thank. You know, I could stay here thanking a lot of people because it's not a one-man sport.
And you know what? That list is what we all saw in terms of flaws of Miguel Berchelt. His other opponents, the 6 men who tried to take this belt from him, also saw it. What did you see and how were you able to take advantage of those flaws?
You know what? I don't know. There's this. Every time I would see him, I would say, I think I could beat him. You know, and I know it's going to be hard. but I couldn't be in life. I don't want to ever be in life 60, 70, 80 years old and have regrets. Say I should have done it. I should have fought him in my prime. So that's why I wanted to take this test, and thank God I made it. Thank God I accomplished my dream. Thank my team. Thank everybody who supported me, and thank everybody who said I wasn't going to make it, but you guys were a part of this. You guys were a part of me training harder to prove everybody wrong.
Now, you said that this was going to be one of those Barrera-Morales fights and that you were going to inspire the next generation of Mexican fighters. How do you think Mexico feels about Oscar Valdez right now?
I hope they liked it. There was a point where like Berchelt wanted me to stay inside the ring, and there was times where I did want to stay in there and bang to give a good fight to my crowd. Even though I didn't do that a lot of times, I hope they liked it. I'm so happy right now I can almost do a backflip like Teofimo Lopez.
What does this win do for your career, and where do you go next?
I don't know. I trained so hard for this fight. I've been training for 4 years since the pandemic started. I want to go back to my family. I haven't seen my family in a long time. Just want to go and hug them, thank them for being the best thing in my life. I said I was going to take this belt back home, and I'm happy for that. Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it. I just want to keep on fighting and give the fans what they want.
Congratulations, guys. Viva Mexico.
Viva Mexico. Indeed.